Go.
Hello, he's IBX Toy Cat, and welcome back to another stream. I was not bad, not bad.
That was good. I like that. That's a 9 out of 10. Hello, IBX
I
Toy Cat right
couldn't
there.
get to your speed. Your speed is too good. But I'll work on it.
Hello, IBX Toy Cat. Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be talking about goats. That's so you gotta like ram it out there
exactly
as fast as you can. Anyway, hello everyone.
Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
There's two things. One, sorry, this stream was entirely unannounced and kind of unplanned. We had it like in the works for a while, but then we didn't realize that we were doing a stream. Or it's whatever. You don't need to watch this. This is gonna be the most unpolished thing. I'll polish it into a video later if you want to watch that. But if you want to hang out with me and ulrAF as we talk fun things, then you're in the right place. Also, I've never streamed two people on this laptop, so let me know if me and ulrAF are balanced or if he needs to be louder or quieter or whatever. Okay, sorry for taking a minute of your...
No, that's good.
I took the floor.
It's all good.
See, it's weird, that thing about like conversations being two people, like we're both agreeing like how much time to dedicate to each other, when there's like a third and arguably a fourth, you know, there's two audiences watching, and like trying to balance that as well. It's like two silent people sitting at the table, but they want to be represented too, you know?
Right, that's a good point. Yeah, I've just when you were off, I apologized to my chat that I'm not like paying attention to it enough and stuff like that, right? So definitely, they're part of this conversation.
Okay, sound is fine. Nice.
I just witnessed something not very PG, so we're gonna move away from it.
Oh, I can hear sound so much.
With Minecraft.
Hello, Dasher. I can't read tips today either. I'm sorry for ignoring you today, chat, but I can see you. I'm seeing you with my eyes, and I can see you visually when the message is on the screen. Yeah,
Okay. So do you have Bedrock open?
I do have Bedrock open.
Okay, let's choose a structure. What do you want to start with?
Oh right. Oh, like you mean open up a game? Oops. Yeah, let's do that instead. So, you know, I think to ignore you know how we're saying, you know, like you have to be really good friends with someone to like trust that you can like be silent, you know. So to validate chat, we could let chat decide, because we're not going to be we're going to be ignoring them for a while, but to show that we do care. So chat, what structure should we start with?
Yeah, throw structures. What's your favorite structure, chat?
Do you call your chat? I'm curious, because I do it and I didn't even realize I was doing it, but now it's just like inside of me. How do you refer? Do you think of them as one person, or do you think of them as a group of individuals?
I talk to them as chat unless I'm talking to a specific person and then like saying their name.
Is that person in that moment also chat though? You know,
he's part of chat, but chat is it's a legion. It's a
legion,
I don't know, collective,
a hive mind.
Exactly. People are saying Nether Fortress, maybe Desert Well, of course.
My chat's saying entirely Desert Well. I'm
pretty sure it's the same. We can take it out. You know, start with it.
It's a good one to start with, right? So
yeah, sure.
I'll find a desert.
Oh,
so in the meantime,
I can't find it. Oh, there's no locate for it?
Yeah, there's no locate. I mean, you gotta find it yourself. Because the locate's only for major structures, right? It's not for the minor ones. Like, you can't locate fossils or dungeons.
I'm guessing it's a feature and not a structure. That's why it's like that, maybe.
I like that you have an actual explanation. My assumption was just like...
I'm just guessing.
No one's ever wanted to locate one, so they just didn't make a command for it.
No,
I found one.
It's not how it works. But okay, it's like the locate command just iterates over all structures. We don't add it there. Actually,
really?
I've never done it. So maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, you know much more than me on this, but my guess would have been like every structure generates differently, so the process for finding each structure would be different. But it could be that.
To be fair, I've never looked at the locate command, so I don't really know. the code base is humongous. Like if you haven't done something yourself, and I've never added the structure myself yet, so I really have no way of knowing.
When are you adding your
not
first structure? Is that going to be a part of the archaeology thing?
I wonder if I'll do one before.
Ooh, exciting.
It depends. Well, I don't know. We'll see. The archaeology is a bit off yet, so there might be something before.
Okay, I know this is us going off topic a ton, but I've always wanted to know this. Like, if you were just like hell bent on adding doing something crazy, like adding 50 structures, like, and you do it and it's there in a thing, and they're actually really, really well polished and great, etc. Like, what is the process where that doesn't happen or does happen? You know, like, you know, what's the? Do you just have to get? You know, who has to approve or not approve that? You know, or can you not even work?
Who has to approve it?
Yeah, like yeah.
So
how do you?
So structures are not a great example of that, because making 50 structures would take like a year. And there's no way I would do that before people already approved like the concepts, at least. I did already build like a bunch of concepts for archaeology, but I hand built them, right? Not actual structures in the game. They weren't generating. So I guess I could hand build 50 structures and then come to my team with them. And I'm guessing what will happen is that they'll be like, ulrAF, are you drunk? Why do you think we're gonna add 50 structures? Let's choose the best ones, and then they will go in. I am not finding it as well, by the way.
I found one so fast.
But yeah, I found one right next to a village.
Do you know that double is common on Bedrock?
Really?
Yes.
That is
I learned that recently too. I mean, that's the reason people play Bedrock instead of Java. I hate to.
Of course, that's the main reason, right?
Yeah, it's the that and the big salmon.
That's why that's what we use on the commercials, right? It's like, come to Bedrock, double the desert wells. Exactly.
I'm loving the idea of a Bedrock commercial, just like on the TV, like play Bedrock Minecraft.
Did you see the old Mojang commercials? Like the really old ones?
They're so like.
I love them so much.
I like them too. Yeah, they're so endearing. Like, it really is just an office of programmers with a camera.
Yes, exactly, and that's what it should be, honestly. Like, I love that. That's so real, so personal.
The thing is, they were doing them super late into where they were like a multi-million-dollar studio with like dozens of employees, and then they were still like, yep, here's a guy crapping on the toilet and showing how you can play Minecraft Pocket Edition there. And it's like, well,
really?
Yeah,
I thought it was from the stage where there are still like 30 people.
Yo, I mean, 30 people. I don't know.
I'm saying I thought
the world's largest game is still like big, right? Well, it's not. It wasn't the world's largest, but it's one of the top 10. You know, if not, like,
yeah, it was like huge when they were still like less than 30 people. I think like it got huge really early.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
I felt like it was even smaller than that, right? It was like a dozen. But back when you could like know every Mojang employee's name, they were, you know, like having parties on private jets and looked fun. You should join Mojang earlier.
I don't know about that.
Oh no, that was a real this sounds like I'm making fun, but there is a real documentable thing where Notch bought a private jet, took everyone to Monaco, and there's like pictures of them all in the jet in the hot tub. Like, this isn't a made up like conspiracy thing. It was a real thing.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. You missed out.
Okay,
where's your private
jet? I've never had one.
Oh, you never even been on a private jet.
A jet, not a jet, but a plane at some point.
You've like flown one yourself? You're like a pilot?
Yes. My amazing, beautiful girlfriend, she, for one of my birthdays, she decided, like, my favorite Disney movie is Aladdin. So she decided to take me on a magical carpet ride. we tend to do weird, kitschy theme things for our birthdays. So she took me for a private flight lesson, and it was so crazy, like so incredible. Like, I expected it to be like, yeah, well, I'm driving this car that is now in the air, but it's not. It's so not. It's so different and amazing.
That does sound really cool. I'm impressed they let you even like fly it on one of the first lessons. I always assumed there was like dozens of hours of prep before you could do that. You know?
I mean,
that's
it's like your first car lesson, right? They have a wheel as well, and they sort of get you up in the air, and then they let you have like 15 minutes of controlling your own wheel. But they have a wheel, not a wheel, but how is it called? A joystick?
There's a term for
Their
it.
special world.
Yeah, like I've got it in my hands right now. My whole chat's looking at me, pretending to try to play. But
that thing.
like,
I was doing that as well, but I didn't have a camera, so it's weirder that I'm doing it. So that thing, and they have one as well, and stuff. So you can't do too crazy stuff. In fact, I was being super careful because I'm fucking terrified. But the instructor was like, "No, dude, feel comfortable. You can do more. You can do more." Like at one point he grabbed my arm and sort of pulled it as hard as you can, and the plane almost flipped. And I was flipping, but like he was like, "No, it's fine. It's fine." And it was really fun. It was really, really good.
Yeah, I'd be doing a barrel roll or something. If you really can, I'm totally down to do that. That sounds so fun. I'm gonna find a place that will do that for me. That sounds like
it was really cool.
I would have become.
How did you get to talk to me about it?
Sorry, yeah. Wait, okay. I'm gonna be in charge of keeping us on track today. So, how about you introduce us to what we're doing in this?
Okay. Good. So, sort of. I think what we're doing is that Toycat is gonna be in Bedrock and I'm in Java, and we're gonna try to compare structures and sort of find differences, but only by communicating. So we'll see. Like our job is communicating, Toycat, right? Like yours for entertainment and me for I don't.
Wait, is your job communicating? Oh, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, it's still communicating.
That's a part of it. I guess it's also only a part of mine, but I'll give you that.
So let's see how good we are at communicating and finding these differences. I found a well. Did you find one?
I did. I'm gonna introduce it for the YouTube video now. I'm just gonna quickly say. In addition, so on my screen we only have Bedrock, while on ulrAF's screen he has the Java version, which is the one you're probably more familiar with, right? I'd say you play it more, a little bit. And so you as the viewer get to see both versions as we try to, in this video, not on the stream, I'm sorry. We can't do that live. We're not that fancy. But you will see both versions, and you can see us try to communicate the differences if there are any, because I assume some, like the desert well has to be the same on both, right? It has to be.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Okay, so
I mean,
it's like
go over it, but yeah. By the way, if we did prepare well, we could have done it so the stream could see both as well, right? We can share our screen on Discord and then use that as a little screen. Like we just next time.
Actually, yeah, see, because while I'm in America, it actually is impossible because my laptop would die if I tried to do that. So we can blame that. We can say this is the best we can do. I'm sorry, stream.
Just killed a rabbit. I didn't know they do that. That's cool.
Who killed a rabbit?
Yeah.
Sorry, what killed a rabbit? A cat?
Oh, a cat. A cat from the village.
I only know about that because I have a rabbit in a glass cage in my end, and there's like 50 cats always trying to get in there. So
why do you have cats in your? Oh, you have a village in your.
I have a village in the yeah. It's the rabbit is the more confusing one because I had to take that one myself. I don't even know why I put it there. I think it was like defense against ravagers when they were scared of them. I'm not sure if they still are.
Ravagers scared from cats? Really?
No, ravagers were scared of rabbits at one point. I don't know if they still are.
Oh, of rabbits. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I don't know if they're even called ravagers, if I'm being honest with you. That whole mob is just confusing to me. Like it doesn't. None of it gets still in there. It is a ravager.
The ravager, like the illager beast.
Yeah, the illager beast. I for some reason the two terms I always get mixed up. Which one's real and which one's old. Okay, anyway, Desert Well. Explain it to me. I think it was
called the beast when it was like worked on, and then it changed into ravager. Yeah, they're not afraid of rabbits now, but maybe they used to.
So they did in fact change it. Okay, thank you, Fair. Oh. Now I have a useless rabbit in my hand. I could do something cool with
it. Okay, so Desert Well. I'm looking at it. First of all, it's symmetrical. Is it symmetrical on Bedrock? Completely symmetrical.
It is symmetrical as far as it is 100% symmetrical.
Okay.
And then it's got like a 3x3 top with a little single bit poking out.
Yes. And the
Little
top
past that.
is made of sandstone slabs.
Yes.
Not
Except-
smooth, not anything like that.
And then the middle bit is made on a single sandstone block rather than 2 sandstone slabs.
Yes, that's
Okay.
true as well. For
Ah, this might be the actual only identical structure.
me. Yeah. Okay, so it has 3 pillars. The water is indented one into the ground, right?
Yep, it is one down, which means that.
This, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mm,
And then
the floor is also sandstone.
Yep, not
sand.
smooth, not. Yep. Hey, okay. So we did a desert well, and there is, if there is a difference, then we didn't spot it.
Yeah, chat can tell
So-
us if we're wrong, maybe.
Uh,
Also, I have a desert temple right next to me, so we can do that if you want.
I can probably locate one real quickly. Locate temple.
I also have a desert village next to me. This is a pretty good sealed. I like it.
I think deserts are just
Oh, actually,
very.
I don't know if it's close to spawn though.
You know the rules.
Yeah, it has to be close to spawn.
Number of times I get people sending me seeds like, wow, look at all these things. They're only 10,000 blocks away. And it's like, well, by the time you get there, I'm not sure if that's so useful anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a desert temple. So the one,
Oh, we have Mortmort in chat. Hey, Mortmort. Do you know Mortmort, Toycat?
when you say it, I don't know it. Maybe if you spelt it.
He's a streamer for a while now, but he joined Mojang recently a few months ago.
Oh,
Pretty
wow.
cool, dude.
I bet he is.
Funny fact, before Mojang, I was working on my own game, and I did some of the art for it as well. And I learned all I know about pixel art from Mortmort. So if you see my game and the art sucks, it's Mortmort fault. Yes.
Beautiful. I love it.
Cool dude. Cool dude.
I hope you're doing well, Mort. Does that mean deaf in
Yes.
French?
Yeah, I'm sure no one ever told him that.
Okay, so I'm looking at my desert temple, and I know the
Yes.
one difference that I know of one difference already. If you go around the back, is there
Are
a
you
single?
talking about the random block?
Yeah, the
at
random
back?
block, just poking out. Is it
I
there
saw-
for you too?
I saw your video on it, and I feel like removing that just to spite you, because you said Mojang would never remove this.
Is it on Java too then? Is the one block?
So I remember vaguely that when I saw that video, I went and checked Java, and it was, but I am here and it's not here.
Yeah, I
So
heard
maybe
that
it's not always.
I heard it had been fixed in Java recently, or been added to Bedrock recently, and I don't remember which.
Interesting.
Cliffs.
Oh, it used to. My chat says it used to be on Java, but they patched it. Okay.
Also,
If that's true, I don't remember that happening. But if that's true, I would expect it to come to Bedrock as well. So bad news, Mr. Cat.
no, you know, there's they got other things they'll be doing in the meantime. There'll be no fixing of the beautiful block while I'm in the. I'm gonna remove all the sand
Okay.
around it. You might want to do the same command, so you can see.
Mine is not very buried, so I think it's okay.
Mine's. Oh, maybe that's a difference because I feel like they're almost always buried on Bedrock. Like the.
I know they can be buried on Java. I don't know if the chances are different, but they definitely can be.
It could be the terrain as a whole is different, and that's what causes that. But so the front of it has. I'm assuming you're at the front. Let's do this side by
Yes.
side. The front is like 2 orange blocks. They're terracotta, in front of a chiseled sandstone, and then there's pillars. There's pillars coming down to a base that is 3 by 3. There's like a doorway that's 3 blocks by 3 blocks, and then inside of that doorway there's cut sandstone that makes it smaller.
Yes. Okay, that makes like a door.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
So the chiseled sandstone and the orange blocks, they're surrounded by cut sandstone, right?
Yes, with 2 little corner
But
pieces.
the pillars
and
that go down,
they're from regular
they're
sandstone.
Yes.
It feels
good,
weird
good.
that they're regular sandstone. It looks a bit.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah. Like I
I'm
feel
guessing it's trying to sort of make the top look more fancy or something.
But I feel like the two sides could be made from. Oh no, that looks ugly. I think it'd replace like the pillars all the way with sandstone, but you know maybe it is as good as it can look.
I don't know. Yeah.
And then there's to the right of that. There's just two chunky, like it goes in one block, and there's like a 3x3 chunk of regular sandstone.
Yes.
On both sides.
Same
Okay.
on both sides.
Describe your towers to me. The two ones on the right and the left.
They are 5 wide.
5 wide.
And
Yeah.
they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 high, without the little top.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wait, did I
9
count the
high
base or
measured.
not? What?
Yeah, if you don't count the base, it's 9 high.
8, 9. Yes, without the base. Exactly.
Okay. Yep.
And there's the top on it. That is like 3x3 with 4 stairs.
Yeah. Yep. Facing all out.
All of it sandstone.
Yep.
Cool.
Sandstone.
Yeah, I'm sure the symbol is the same, right?
Yep. The
And
little,
it's orange
like a key.
terracotta.
I've always seen it as a key, at least. Do you see a key in this symbolism?
Keys usually have teeth only in one direction, though.
Ah, but it's a special desert key. It's magical, so it has both directions.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
It's a double lock. I see.
You know how, like, in movies, they always have teeth in both directions for no good reason, so maybe that's...
Yeah,
that's here too.
sometimes.
And then there's 2 chiseled sandstone in the middle pillar, in between the key bits.
Yes, and orange terracotta between them.
Yeah. That used to be wool back in the day, and
Yeah, it's before terracotta was added.
I think
Which was actually good, because that was like part of the progression, right? You can make a bed from it if you don't find the sheep.
Yeah, right. But I feel like if we're changing it with the times anyway, if you replace it with orange concrete, it looks so much better. Like the progression of colored blocks in Minecraft is the like,
Orange concrete. I feel like that would be too clean, though. No, let me try it out.
Yeah, I think it looks like maybe it's a bit too like futuristic-y for a old temple, but to me it fits well. Maybe too well.
Yeah, I can see you as a player sort of replacing it and being like, I am cleaning up the temple, right, and making it shiny and adding gold and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But if this thing is here for a long time, I don't feel like it should be that bright.
Yeah, no, you're right. I guess it would have been kind of like the Statue of Liberty thing. It would have been built in the orange concrete and then slowly faded to the terracotta color because of the sun or whatever. It is in a desert after all.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got 4 of those little key things that aren't keys. 2 on each
2
side.
on each pillar.
Yep. Oh, this might be identical minus that 1 block actually. So then the way you walk into if you want to walk into one of those big pillars, you walk in from the middle of the back. You go down 2 stairs, and then you take a left, a forwards, down a half slab, and then there's a stairs from there.
1, 2, and then there's 2 stairs into a solid block, and then another solid block, and then
Slab.
a half slab. What? And the stair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
That's kind of weird.
Oh yeah,
but
like
okay.
do you see the stairs under the half slab? It makes it even more confusing.
Under the half slab, there's a full block.
Oh, under the half slab, there's a full block for you.
Yes. Did we find a difference?
We found it. What a dumb difference.
Wait, really? I need
It's
to open that. Wait. I need to open your stream to see it.
It's a stair. I want to see yours actually. I'm gonna see if I open.
I mean, if I show yours on screen and you show mine, it's not gonna work. But okay.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for you to see this. It's so subtle. This is XSHGX.
Oh wait, I need to mute you. I mean, I muted your stream, not you. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
There it is.
I like you not muting me.
Wait, can you move back so I can see like full view? I can't see context of what you are. Yeah, okay. Seriously, why would there be a stair? I was expecting it to at least be flipped, so it's like supporting, but it's not. It's just a normal. What the hell? You can look at my screen now. This makes more sense.
I'm gonna take a peek at yours.
Like it's hard to look at from afar, but yeah, this
Oh
is what
yeah,
you're talking about.
it really is a
Afar,
block.
but, yeah.
I think you're on the other
Yes.
side though. It could be, so it's entirely possible. Wait, I'm gonna go to the left side.
No,
Oh no,
it's
it's
a full block
stairs.
as well.
The funny thing is, on the left side of mine, the stairs are facing the same way, so it makes even
Oh.
less sense. Like they're not flipped on both sides. If you get me.
I am
Like,
guessing the person who added them expected them to be flipped or something, but it didn't save correctly
Yeah,
or
'cause-
something, right? I don't see any reason for it to be stairs otherwise.
I mean, maybe they were going because if you place, it could be both stairs were meant to be facing the other way. Oh wait, it could be yours. Have you picklocked yours? Is yours definitely not just the stairs facing the wrong way?
Oh no, it's I just tried it.
Okay,
It's a
because
sandstone full sandstone block.
man, that's so interesting. I wonder if there's more stairs back here. That okay, no, it's
I love that we found the difference. That's so cool.
it's such a silly
Okay.
difference.
And
So-
it was completely random, right? We didn't check if it's a difference. You just said like, look at that stair, and I was like, what?
I mean, whenever there's something that just feels a bit weird, it's like it's Bedrock. It's definitely Bedrock. I feel like I've gone eye for it.
Java
at this point.
has its share of weirdness as well. I'll give you an example though of something really weird I learned like last week or something.
Uh-huh.
I wonder if you know that even. What happens when a charged creeper kills a stray?
Oh, you drop a wither skeleton skull.
You know this. Why have you never told me this?
Oh,
Are you hiding this from me, Toy Cat?
there are some pieces of knowledge. This is the weirdest way that I decide to be like air quotes honorable. But like things like duplication glitches, I don't share because it's like the more people know about them, the worse it makes the game as a whole. And it's like
No. I 100% agree on that.
So-
I'll tell you more than that. Us at Mojang, I don't want to talk about too many people, but I've spoken before to people, and I know myself. When I see someone big sharing duplication glitches, I I approve of him a bit less.
yeah,
like-
you're taking away from the game for people. Like it's one of those ways where like it sounds dumb and like teachers would always say it, but like you're cheating yourself, but you're allowing other people to cheat themselves in a way that isn't quite intentional.
I will
you know?
say I'm talking mainly about new things, right? If something is in the game for 3 years, then you do whatever you want, right? It's there.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's
But if
my
it's something fairly new and we'll probably want to remove it, until we're able to find time to remove it, spreading it is not a good thing. It's like spreading, it's not the same, but it's similar to spreading security risks. I don't think that's nice.
yeah.
We have stuff on it for the tracker, and we are actually, when we see something like that, we flag it as private so people can't see it. So it doesn't spread. Like we're very conscious that we want it to not spread. Because it can ruin servers, right? It's a bug that someone can come on a normal server and get whatever they want from. That's bad for servers.
Yeah, I really do agree that there's a certain almost responsibility on the internet to try and improve things rather than like I agree with you that there's a certain point in time, I don't know what, like an arbitrary point, but like if it clearly isn't meant to be there, but it's been some amount of time, or it looks like it's thematically meant to be there, like, you know what, there's some bugs that totally do make sense that like it doesn't make it wasn't intentional, but it thematically makes sense at least. But if it's like this isn't thematic, it's just allowing you to basically cheat through the game, it's like I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to try and resist telling people. But if you want all of the secrets sometime, I think actually that's the biggest one. That and the you can fight the wither really easily by spawning it in the end underneath the
Yeah, that I know about. It's not really a glitch. We've talked about it a bit in the past. It's hard to deal with it without feeling like we're trying to ruin your fun, right? Because you are sort of being clever, but by finding that specific situation. Obviously, I know about it. I don't know if I love it, but yeah, it's not the same to me. It's not like duplication, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a little different because at least you have to be pretty deep in the game to get to that stage.
Yeah.
Where you can do that. There is a
I
difference there. That's
Anyway,
so cool that we found
so
this
you know
thing,
how I
yeah.
learned about the stray?
Oh yeah.
You know how I learned it?
How do that?
I was watching a video of a Bedrock content creator, and they were like, guys, I'm gonna trust you, like talking to their audience. I'm gonna trust you, you have to be good, and don't tell Mojang about it. And I was like half watching it, half concentrated on work, right? Like just having it running in the background. And I just heard that. I was like, okay, let me listen 100% to this video. And he was like, yeah, so we can get Wither Skulls from strays, but now with the new Powder Snow, you can get it super easily, right? From just a skeleton spawner. And I was like, nope. And I was, I think it was a Friday or something. It was very much like I was off work. I was just relaxing, like just doing random shit. And then I saw this and like, let me open up my thing and fix this right now.
You got it, did you? You stabbed that bug right in the heart.
Yes, it's not out yet, but it will be.
Okay, wait, was it true on Java too? It was on, or was it just the Bedrock?
No.
It was a Bedrock.
No, you know why the bug was, by the way, why it happened? It's because try to guess.
Yeah, no, I wanted to get this is exciting to me. So my assumption as soon as I heard it was that skeletons and wither skeletons are actually the same mob for whatever reason. Like wither skeletons are just a variant of the skeleton, and so the code is just written to be like, if his skeleton, drop skeleton head. If his not skeleton, drop wither skeleton head.
Exactly.
Basically.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, really? I got it, did I? Hey.
Yeah. If it's type skeleton, if it's type normal skeleton, drop a skeleton head. Else, drop a wither head. And it worked because we didn't have strays.
Yeah.
And then we added strays and no one
Oh,
touched
so it's
that
been
code,
around since strays were first added. Oh, I guess. Yeah, but then no one had charged creepers back then because of no trident. So I guess it's been.
Yeah. It was less
update.
important when we didn't have tridents.
You know what? Thank you for the clapping chat. I appreciate it. So yeah, should we keep going around more? That is a cool little.
Yeah, let's see if we find more.
I can't believe it too. Like I was sure it was going to be that one block, and then it'd be like a relatively same-ish affair. Okay, so
we go to the main room.
Yeah, let's get to the main room. I'm sure there's some dumb minor difference of like one block here, probably, because the way these
it's up to us to find it.
Yeah, you know these little side corridors? They don't match on both sides on Bedrock, and also they don't make any sense on either version. Like, why do they exist? You know, what is the purpose of these little things?
Oh wait, what? They don't match. Oh,
yeah,
what? They don't.
Yeah,
wait,
right.
No.
I only learned this because I was building a desert temple in my my map, ultrAF Survival. I was like, wait, really? And then I figured I'd use it.
Wait, they're not even. Wait, is that how everyone looks? No way. It feels like it's a random thing.
Oh, do you think it's no? It's gonna be everyone, right? Because it's the same structure every time. Yeah, I could confirm the second desert temple, and you could do the same if you want. But
I wanna go to another desert temple. Yeah, I just want to check something because the side looks so weird. It's not even cohesive in its own side. It's not the same. I'll explain when we make sure it's real. 1 second. Locate desert pyramid. Oh damn! This one is completely covered.
Also, this.
Well, it should be okay.
I'm looking.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I was checking if this one has stairs there or not, but no, just to make sure.
Again, I could be wrong on this because you're thinking about it from a code perspective, whereas I'm thinking from a gameplay perspective. But I think that the structures generate like the same. Like I think the desert temple is just the same set of blocks that just slams itself into the terrain. It doesn't have any like changes because even the chests just generate randomly as you open them, not as they generate. That's
so. I know that many structures have a lot of randomness into them, both in the code and in the structure themselves. They can choose between a very amount of structures, and they do different things.
Really?
So I do know that's a thing in the game. I don't know if specifically desert pyramids do that. I can open the code and check. But regardless, I flew to a different one, and it is different.
Oh,
so that sort of
my different one looks exactly the same.
Really? So on both sides, everything?
If it's not the same, it's so similar I can't tell the difference while looking.
No, like so mine is really different. A lot different.
Oh, now
Like
that
the
is
sides are
interesting.
really different.
Really? So the sides of the main room, right, with the where the chiseled sandstone is, the little
Yeah,
one
little
white
pillars.
2x1 pillar gaps, right? Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay,
some of
describe
them
yours to
have
me,
like
yeah.
a place you can walk behind them as well. Do
Okay.
you not have that?
So yeah, they on both sides there's at least. So okay, wait. I'll describe mine maybe because I'm having a hard. Like on the right side of both desert temples, you can walk behind the
Yeah.
pillars, and there's a walkway that goes behind all of the pillars, connecting them all up. Is
Yeah,
that-
so no.
Oh, so it's different there too. Real man.
So in the first one, on the right was exactly what you said, and on the left there wasn't.
Uh-huh.
But here on the right there isn't, and on the left there is.
I on both of mine, on the right there was, and like it was going along the entire way, and then on the left it goes part of the way. Like the last 3 2x1 holes all linked together.
Exactly. Oh, so we have the same thing, but it's I am okay. Now I'm convinced that it's random, because what you just said is exactly what I had, but I had it on the left before, and in this one it's on the right. Right? It's like 3 of them have a space behind them to walk, and then 3 of them are blocked.
Okay,
But
so
it flipped sides for me.
I'm gonna check a third one to confirm it's not
Yeah,
just
check
the
a
same
third
thing.
one.
But before I do, I have a question. When you go behind the 2x1 walkway, is it like is there a block gap underneath the wall? Do you get me? Like, so it's a
Yes.
one oh there it is. Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, exactly. That's the
Halfway
weird thing.
there
Yeah, yeah, halfway. I don't understand
bunch
why.
of weirdness in this structure.
Okay.
It's very not symmetrical for sure.
And then also along the back wall is that wall like 1 block further out as well. You know, the back of the main room entirely. You know, towards the back from where you enter. Is that
Wait,
is it like
I teleported away, so I need to find a new one. And
okay,
then
I'll find a new one too. Yeah, let's TP.
The back wall for me has this like one high gap all the way. Okay, so what about the sides here? This one is blocked. Yeah, it flipped sides again for me. Now the right side has a way to go behind, and the left side has only half a way to go behind.
It only has half of it. Oh, I accidentally found a witch hut instead of a temple because it's the same locate command on Bedrock.
Oh,
That's the first time that's ever happened to me, and it's. Okay, let's. Yeah,
I wonder if it's random in Bedrock as well or not.
I would.
Seems such random choice.
Again, I have I've spent a lot of time on Seed Sunday, like just looking at random seeds, and I don't believe I've seen difference. And again, for a recent for the map thing, I've been rebuilding a lot of desert temples, so I'm quite familiar with it, and I think it's always that way, but it could be not. Okay, so I've got a third one here. If the third one's the same, I'm not gonna. Okay, on the third one, the right one, every single 2x1 entrance is there. And on the left, it is, yeah, it's the first 3 2x1 holes are just one, you know,
They're
like it's
blocked.
you can walk into them, but only by 1 block. And then the next 3 are all linked. Oh, even weirder. Oh, I think this is actually just another structure. There's some cobblestone in mine, but I think that's just got overwritten by something.
Oh.
Yeah, wait, 1 sec. Wait, I think, wait, no. Okay. I'm gonna work out what this is before I... But there is something very strange in my one.
Cobblestone has to be either a village or a dungeon.
Yeah, I'm
right?
guessing a dungeon. Yeah, I think it could. Wait, it could be the pillager tower. But yeah, it's a dungeon. There just happened to be a dungeon, right? Like on top of the.
That's pretty cool, though.
It is very cool. If it wasn't 10,000 blocks from spawn, it would be exciting. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in.
We have Corner Hard in chat.
Hey, Corner Hard.
Corner Hard.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, you. I saw your video of touring their world. That was really cool. That's a pretty crazy world.
I was excited. We were gonna meet while I was in Seattle, but I went there the week he happened to be gone. It was a very Very unfortunate
Ah.
coincidence.
That sucks.
I hope we can meet if we ever go to Stockholm.
Yeah,
that'd be
definitely.
fun. It looks like travel stuff is slowly easing, huh? So might be sooner than we assume.
Yeah, I'm allowing myself to start being optimistic about maybe having like Minecon or however we're calling it.
Mindfest
festival,
Con
whatever.
show live.
Yeah, at some point. I'm so excited for it. I want it to happen so much.
Me too. It's been so long. 2016 now. Like
Yes.
there was gonna be one in 2020.
I've never been to one as well. I've never been to one.
Wait, you don't even have a cape on your skin.
I mean, I have the Mojang cape.
Yeah, that's a better cape.
That's the only cape I ever had.
I can't believe you call yourself a Minecraft fan. Disappointing.
I mean, excuse me, but check your privileges. Okay, it's hard to fly from small countries. No,
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
kidding,
especially
yeah, it's just never good.
Actually, I've looked into. Again, I feel like we're going very off topic, but I want to mention it because it's so interesting to me and maybe just mundane to you. But getting into Israel is very First of all, like once you go into it, it makes it hard to go to other countries. But also because of certain countries I've been to, I would have a hard. I would get into Israel just fine, but they would question me about all of the countries that are, you might expect. They would.
So I
question
heard
me.
that. I heard that if you go through some countries, you need to be checked before you go in. But that's true for the US as well, I think.
But the list of countries is a lot smaller, and actually for the US it's actually more severe. There's a small list of countries you can't get a visa, like a tourist. You can't go to America visa free if you've been to countries. Like you just straight up can't.
Yeah.
But the trick is they only ask you, and then you just say no. I don't think I should say that publicly. I haven't been to any countries that I shouldn't have. I want to clarify.
I will never lie to the US government.
I will never lie to the US government. I love you, America.
Yes.
God bless you and your infinite.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you say it online or not. They are always listening, Toycat.
Exact. I mean, okay, you know what? Again, this is off topic on the off topic, but as part of so to have access to America, I went through this really long interview because it's basically to get slightly easier access. And one of the things they were like is like, oh yeah, and if you ever think about saying something online, we are tracking your IP address, so we will know. And it's like, you scared me until that line. That line where you said, like, with the person...
Right? That's so not knowledgeable. IP address of what? Of, like, my computer doesn't have an IP address, person. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, right, like...
That's not how internet works.
Right, and the person, like, she was a German woman, she'd scared me so much up to that point, like, with all the stuff, like, she knew about who my girlfriend was, even though we've never traveled anywhere, like, together. We'd never, like... But she knew, like, all of these things, and I was like, that's so scary. And then, oh yeah, we're tracking your IP address to make sure that you're not doing things. It's like, okay. It's all fit. Oh, that's nice.
I mean, she might just... Yeah. Like, it might be that she's not scared because she doesn't really understand, but actually they are... like following your MAC address or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
they could actually.
That, like your phone has a unique ID that can be followed even if you change SIM, for example. Right.
You're IMEI, right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So she might be right without being right? Like that's possible. Like I heard like a really funny conversation with the salesperson trying to explain why their internet is better, right? And the person on the line tells her, but you are offering me 100 gigabyte and they're offering me 100 gigabyte. And she's like, yeah, but our 100 gigabyte is better than their 100 gigabyte, right? And she's right while being very wrong.
Yeah,
right? Like she's right with the fact that they
yeah.
have... Yes, they had a, like underwater fiber thing. So they give you 100 gigabyte, but that 100 gigabyte is always like guaranteed rather than other things that are like up to 100 gigabyte. But she just doesn't understand why she's right? So she's saying things that are wrong. That's funny.
Okay, I find that I agree that like people can be right while saying entirely wrong things, and it's pretty interesting. But also, like, I can't get over the fact. Do you really say gigabyte? Because I thought it was like a funny joke in the story. But is that just how you say it?
Oh, really? How do you say it?
Gigabyte, right? It's a G.
Okay, gigabyte. Right. Oh, I guess that's Hebrew just saying gigabyte.
Oh,
My bad.
I mean, okay. Honestly, like gigabytes, like funny. So I would say don't change it. I'd be happy if you.
I didn't notice. Yeah, but I guess you're right.
You know, these streams are not just learning about Minecraft structures. They're a great way to learn about the language.
Learning about languages. Yeah. So do we have anything else we want to check about the desert?
Oh yeah. The little entryway. So if we fly back out of it, they have two entryways on the left and the right.
I will just say I am impressed that the weirdness of the inside is the same, right? It's just that in Java it can switch sides, but the extremely weirdness of having 3 blocked off and then 3 open, for example.
I've never understood it. I've never understood it.
It's impressive though. It's impressive that they got it the same.
I wish I understood it. I wish I could because you know, I like. It seems like there should be something cool back here, like some reward for spotting it, but it just exists. You know, like I built one into my map that like there's a little secret staircase you can find, and it's like leads you down to a little music disc. Sorry for the spoiler, anyone. But like I think that's like there should be some. Even if it's just a polished andesite block, you know, just some little, you know,
some reward, yes. Yeah. Conrad says 1.21 gigawatts. Is that the joke you're referring to?
I think I didn't know. I don't know the reference, but I feel like I know the reference without knowing.
It's from Back to the Future. I love those movies.
I don't love.
I'm guessing.
I didn't watch them as a child. I watched them as an adult, and they're it's like Star Wars, where if you watch it without the nostalgia context, or like Super Mario 64, I love that game. But if you played it for the first time today, you'd be like, "Why does anyone enjoy this? What is wrong with you?" You know? And
really?
I feel like it's the same.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I really liked it when I watched it. Maybe I need to rewatch.
Okay, so if you go outside of the desert temple, and then you know, there's like 2 entryways on the right and the left. There's like
they are cut sandstone.
Yeah, are they? But then 1 block further into them, you know, because they jut out 2 blocks. Is that made from sandstone instead of cut?
Yeah, that's normal sandstone.
And then if we go down into the loot temple bit, because I know the pattern for the orange and the blue is almost definitely the same, like a little diamond.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah. If we go down into the thing, okay, I'm gonna drink a night vision potion real quick. Can you describe what yours looks like?
Yeah. I'm gonna use commands to give myself night vision. So it's a 3x3 ground made out of cut sandstone. And then the sides have 1 layer of cut sandstone, and then 1 layer of chiseled, and then 1 layer of cut, and then all the way up is sandstone.
Yep, that's correct. And I feel like, okay, it's one of the... I think this was a bug, but like sometimes on Bedrock, one of the chests is like, there'll be like a block above it for some reason, but it's not in my current one.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
It could have been a bug that's been fixed since then, but it's happened an annoying amount of the time.
It sounds like a cool thing, actually. I might do that on purpose, right?
Oh no!
Like if I designed
it.
What? Why? It's like a challenge. It's a fairly easy challenge, but it's a challenge of you can't open the chest. You have to break it, and then by accident you step on the pressure plate or something. I don't know. It's cool.
That's a good point, actually. I think one of the chests should have a non-zero chance of being a trap chest. That'd be a good little, you know, trickery.
It won't work.
Oh yeah, it'd have to be.
Make it work.
You'd have to put a redstone dust below it.
Put something. I don't think it will power the block below it.
Yeah, you'd have to. Or you could just have. You know,
you can put a piston maybe. Oh no, but then you need QC to work. I don't know. Yeah, we can make it work. It's cool.
I saw a. I'm sure at some point you saw this too. I think it was Phoenix posted like, what if some desert temples had like 8 pressure plates around the outside instead of the one in the middle? And I was like, that's a fun idea too. Like,
I like just the idea of having the pressure plate on a random spot, so you can't just drop down.
Exactly. I like that too. I think there should be for the trap based. I mean, I guess most people like probably aren't in the same boat. But like once you go to a desert temple or a jungle temple once, the traps are like gone. But I like the idea that like you need to be thinking about it. You need to be on your guard, the tiniest bit.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you dig down, there's 9 TNT, and then there's not chiseled. Then there's cut sandstone all the way around it, right?
Yes.
And then one more layer of cut sandstone, and then stone or whatever's below it.
Yeah, and all the sides as well is cut sandstone.
Yeah. I wonder why it's all cut sandstone down here. Like it, I mean, like it's probably just an arbitrary. It's. I like it. I mean, if you want cut sandstone's definitely prettier than regular sandstone, right?
Depends on what you're doing, but yeah.
I'm like I know that's the balanced and correct answer, but I would rather everything be made from cut sandstone. Like there's sandstone is just a uglier version.
Is there no build that you rather build with cobblestone rather than stone?
I mean, only because I like that cobblestone looks ugly. Like I'm deliberately using the ugliness to build with it, you know? I'm never like, yeah, cobblestone looks better sometimes. Do you disagree with that?
I think cobblestone can look good sometimes. Like I like, for example, to do when I build houses, I like to do like a line of cobblestone at the bottom. When I build like a really basic house and then wood on top, I think it won't look good with stone instead, for example.
Yeah, no, that is true. There is a certain rusticness you get from that.
Yeah.
But I still feel like rustic just means bad. It's like
it means rough, and it doesn't necessarily mean bad. I don't know.
It's like when you go on a estate agent that's like, this is a lively area. Or, you know, like, and you're like, wait, what? Why can't we just
this
level?
This area has personality.
Personality.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, so I think we didn't find any other differences.
Would you like to do a pillager outpost next? And I say that because there's a pillager outpost right next to my temple.
Sure, let's see if I can locate one.
And it's a recent one, so it should be a good... we'll be able to see if it's like recently they've done...
Should be similar.
Yeah. Because if this is exactly the same, then they've done perfect. If not, then parity still has tiny little steps.
It will be harder because I'm sure this one is random, right? Like the... mossy cobble must be like randomly created.
Must it be? I wouldn't guess so. Again, like I actually trust your insight on this more because you apparently have looked into them. But to me, without knowing, I would have guessed the mossy cobblestone is in fixed positions.
Interesting. So I'm not sure, but like I'll give you an example for things I am sure about. Like you know the ruined structures in the water. The water ruins.
Yeah, those are random.
Then. Yeah, they have a lot of randomness in them, right? So I'm just guessing more things are using that, but actually I don't know specifically. Let's check. Let's see.
Yeah,
so
let's
I'm
find it.
at the entrance.
Okay, I'm gonna find the entrance.
Oh, I broke a block. Never mind.
I found something that I've never... Wait, what biome is yours in, just in case it's relevant?
Savannah.
Did you know you could find them in deserts? Because I've never, like... I can't recall having seen one before right now.
I don't know. know.
And then one other thing that I've, again, never seen before is, you know how they have a bunch of structures outside? It's random, so we've got different ones. But one of them is like a jack-o'-lantern on a hay bale, like a little target dummy, and it spawned above a block of cobblestone. And I've never seen that before.
They have a bunch of them, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, let's go into the main structure. You're right. Let's go. I'm at the entrance. You're at the entrance. Walk me through it.
1 second. What is it? Not illager? How are they called? Pillager. Sorry.
Pillager. Illagers are very different to pillagers.
Empire.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pillagers are a subcategory of villagers.
I'm sorry for making a generalization. It's very not nice of me.
Yeah, that's
I
very
just teleported all the pillagers around me 100 blocks in the air. That will make them shut up.
I didn't even know you could teleport entities until like it makes sense that you can, but I've never even. I'm going to do that right now. That sounds fun. All entities up 100 blocks.
Yeah, it has a bunch
Oh
of
my god.
different things
Oh
that
my
can
god.
spawn around it.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing that at some point in the future. That is incredible.
Okay.
Oh, there was a minecart down here somewhere. Okay, sorry. Let's go. Let's
You
go.
just teleported all entities. Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I did every entity, and I've had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it has like a bunch of things that can spawn next to it. So I think we can't really compare these because I have like the prison one.
Oh yeah, I have the prison too. Let's
okay,
compare.
so we can start with that because it's a pretty small one.
Yeah, let's do it.
So it has 4 pillars
Yep.
that are made from dark oak log.
Yes. Dark oak log.
Okay, and it's three high.
3 high. Yep.
Cool. And dark oak fence filling the middle, like 2 times 3.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, that's probably exactly the same.
So is it on top of? The pillar is 3 blocks tall. Above the pillar is some slabs, and below it is a plank. Is that true for you too?
What do you mean plank?
Dark oak plank.
No, what we said the pillars are 3 high.
Yeah, and then
as
above
dark oak logs.
Yeah, but above the pillar is a dark oak slab, and below the pillar is a dark oak plank, right?
No.
No. I want to see.
I don't have any planks.
I'm gonna cheat and look over at yours. Oh wait, no, I'm not gonna cheat. I realized. Let's do that later once we've. So mine.
Yeah. So again, just to make sure, I have 3 logs, dark logs, and then on top of it there's a slab.
No? I have 3 dark logs. On top of it there's a slab, but below it there are planks made of dark oak.
Below what? Below the slab?
Below below the logs there are planks. The whole base of the thing is made from planks. The entire base is.
I have 0 planks.
Huh. I have a lot
weird.
of planks. I have 16 planks. It's 4x4, and then there's a layer below that too.
I cheated and looked.
Yeah, me too. I didn't realize I was cheating till I did it. Yeah.
Okay.
Mine has a floor.
I don't have a floor, but that might be
the biome
because yours were not like stable.
But mine. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. But then why did it go up a block? Why didn't it just have some to stabilize? You get me? Like the.
I mean, maybe it thought it's not I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I do know. Wait. Look at the pillager outpost. Isn't it at the same height?
Oh,
the outpost itself.
No,
no, you're right.
It's
no,
way below.
Completely different height.
Way below.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so no, I don't know why.
Yeah, that's an
Trying
interesting
to
one.
save you there, Minecraft. But couldn't do it. Okay, maybe the structure is better. That's interesting. I'm guessing that's the block used when you're trying to level the ground. But we can check another one later and see if it's still there.
Yeah, I would bet that it has, because I believe, could be wrong. I think it always has the planks when I've seen it on Bedrock. So
interesting.
I think
so maybe it is different.
This is how I picture it normally.
I see.
So at the top it has slabs on the corners and then stairs on the straights, right?
Slabs on the corners, stairs on the... Yeah, exactly. 2 stairs on each side.
To make a 2x2 hole with which a iron golem
and a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mine doesn't have an iron golem, but that's random.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Mine didn't... Well, if mine did, I killed him by teleporting all entities in the air, so... I don't know.
It could be.
I've got a lot of minecart chests lying around here.
Yes. Cool. Let's look at the structure. So I am at the entrance.
Me too. Wait, it's the entrance. So my entrance is. If that's east, then this would be. My entrance is south facing. Is that random? Do you think?
I'm fairly sure it's random. Mine is north facing.
Okay. So we'll assume it is, but we'll
rotation
check.
is very easy to randomize. So,
but I mean that stair block isn't rotated in the desert temple.
Right? No, yeah, that's true.
I know what you're saying, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something I've never checked, so I figure we should just like make note of
Yeah,
it
we
in
can
case
we
it
can
comes
check
up.
that for sure.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, I have a vine straight above the door and one to the right.
I have
I'm looking at the door.
no vine there, but I have 2 vines. One is parallel with the top block of the door on the left, and one is 1 block below the door on the left. They look like they should be connecting, but they're not.
Below the door?
Below the door. Yeah, there's like
I have dirt below the door.
below the door is, I mean, like there's birch planks. Like you know the door's like on top of. Is the floor from yours made from birch planks?
Yes.
Okay, so the same level as the planks is where the vine is.
So for me, if you stand in the door and you look out, the next block is immediately dirt. It's not like
Yeah, mine.
there's no step up.
I have to step up from mine. It could be because it's a desert. It could be normal that it's like this. We'll circle around for
Yeah,
that in
but
a
I'm
second
fairly sure
structure.
the vines
Yeah.
are random.
And then there's a mossy cobblestone, 2 to the right of the doorway on mine.
To the right and up?
To the right and just to the right of the bottom of the doorway. So.
So no. I have one above and to the right, mossy. I think it's probably random
Yeah,
as well.
we'll assume random probably. Inside, there's 7. Sorry. There's 7 like dark oak planks on the inside.
Where?
Like on the left. Sorry, on the left side, 7 dark oak planks, and then there's 2 windows on the middle. Is that 7 actually? That's 5.
3,
I'm
4,
done.
5. I have 5.
Sorry, I counted incorrectly. It's 5.
Okay. So 5, like a beam in the ceiling, right?
Oh yeah, there's a giant beam in the ceiling. I'm gonna quickly turn on PC.
Wait, the 5 planks you're talking about, they're not the beam in the ceiling?
Oh no, the 5 planks are like it's like a table. It's half a slab off the ground.
Wait, is that a plank for you or a slab?
It's a slab.
Oh, it's a slab. Okay. I have 5 slabs as well, right
Okay.
below the window.
Yeah, below the window. Sorry if I got that wrong.
Yes. Okay.
But then there is you're right, 5 planks above all 4 sides. Kind of like
Yes.
a beam. Yeah.
Exactly, and there's like dark oak stairs to support those
Yep.
beams
All facing outwards from the pillars.
facing inwards.
Inward. Yeah. Wait. Inwards. Yes.
To the center of the room, sort of.
Towards the center of the room. Yeah. Yes.
the center of the
exactly.
wall. Yeah.
The center of
Okay.
the wall. That is a hard one to explain.
Yes,
learning a ton.
I think the direction of stairs is always confusing.
And then there's a staircase. It's like 2 blocks to the right of the center of the room, and at the back, 1 block away from the wall.
1 block away from the wall, 2 from the center of the room.
Yeah,
so
2 from the center.
if
so-
you have a block in the center, there's 1 block gap between
Yeah,
it
a
and
1
the
block
stairs.
gap between it and the stairs. If you placed 1 in the stairs.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Cool.
And it's cobblestone stairs.
Yeah, 1 cobblestone up, and then birch planks,
Yep.
and then I have a mossy cobblestone stair. But
Oh, I didn't know
again,
the
that might
stairs could
random.
be. Yeah, I didn't know the stairs could be randomized. That's cool. Okay, yeah, I just have regular cobblestone.
Okay. Well, it's very, very, very interesting. Like, where are we gonna find the random upside down stair or something like that?
The andesite block. That
Very
changes it.
curious.
Um,
Why are there's like random logs in the second floor,
Yeah, there are, right? I'm looking at them too.
or
There's 4
dark
of them.
logs? Yeah.
They do feel a bit out of place. They do
Yeah,
feel-
they're kind of weird. I was going down to see if there's a reason they're there, but I guess they're just like, you don't see them from the outside, right? Oh,
Nope.
you do, because the outside is like slabs.
Oh, that's why it's there. Oh, I
Cool.
see.
Yeah, it adds a bit more variation. I like it.
Okay, yeah, I at least it has a purpose. I'll give it. I don't love it, but
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's got the,
Okay.
the seal of unapproval from me.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, build a better outpost yourself then.
You know, I will build a terrible outpost myself, and just you wait. Just you wait.
Cool. Anything interesting in the second floor we can talk about?
No, it's very. There's nothing. Without pillagers, it's a very empty room. It's
Yes, that's
very
true.
empty room.
I think in some of them there's like workstations here, no? Or am I misremembering that?
I've never seen that. If that is a thing, that would be exclusive, I'm sure. It does
might
feel like
be
there should
wrong.
be something here, right? It should that like the third floor, or anyway, I'm assuming you're doing American convention floors, right? So you're talking about the third floor.
Oh, I had second floor.
Yeah, I realized like how do we explain?
Oh,
so
you would call it the first floor?
yeah, there's the ground floor, the first floor, and then the second. Like to me the second floor means the. You know, actually, I get confused because I'm so used to both. Like So how about we establish a convention for flooring? So is the first floor the
Okay,
ground floor or the first floor?
I propose that the second floor would be called the second floor. How about that?
Is the second floor facing the outside world, or is it locked in a little box?
It's open to the outside.
Okay, we can call that the second floor. I'll accept that. That's in the
Cool.
UK we call that the first floor, just so you know.
I mean, in a residential building, I agree with you. Like that's how it is in Israel as well. But I don't know if I walk
who do you
into
think
a
gave you your
building-
flooring system? Where do you think you got that from?
Cool.
I'm just assuming
Israel
it's.
install everything from US. I'm pretty sure.
I feel like because of the history, which again we will not dive into. I feel like it comes from the. I feel like it comes from the UK, but I could be wrong.
It could be some
Like
of it
that
is
whole
from the
region
UK as
is
well.
like British and French controlled, you know. So or was obviously is not.
Yes, but at some point the
Switched to
American
America.
culture
Yeah.
got.
Oh yeah, American
very,
culture
very
is definitely the
influential.
bigger one, but like legal and weird systems like that are more. You know, they're like kind of fixed in stone more. That's the difference, I think.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why, but I think Israelis sort of got like they really have this American dream sort of mentality of like being successful and being not working for anyone, right? Being self-employed. I don't know. We watch a lot of American music, American shows. It's very ingrained, I think, in our culture. The running joke. Do you know Don't Mess with the Zohan? That movie?
I do not. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's like a movie that was made in America, but it's sort of making fun of this Israeli that's coming to America, and the running joke there is that Israel is always like 10 years behind or something. Like, I don't know when the movie came out, but it's making fun of us just discovering disco now or something like that. Yeah, it seems like we're basically America, but like 10 years behind or something.
I mean, it's not a bad place to be. I mean, it's better than being 100 years behind.
Sure.
Maybe that's me being the optimist here. It's
Yeah.
actually the worst thing in
So I
the.
think the second floor is not very interesting.
Yeah, floor 2, nothing much. Floor 3, even less.
I mean, let's check the logs.
Oh, that's
It is
smart.
the
Yeah.
same.
Let me grab another potion. I know I could use night vision to the effect, but I like using potions. So it's got 3 logs in each wall in like a triangle pattern.
Yes, I think it's actually 4 logs, but we don't see the bottom one, right? Because on the stairs, I can see the edge of the 4th one.
Yeah, it is in fact a 4th stair. It's a diamond pattern, not a triangle. I'm sorry for lying.
Yeah,
to you.
also we can see it from the outside. It's 4th. This is actually a pretty... Like, I always thought of it as a very simple structure, but it has
Yeah, it's
some
pretty
touches.
intricate.
I like
It's
it.
pretty intricate.
Yeah.
So then when you finish climbing the stairs, 2 blocks in front of you, there is a chest lining up against one of the pillars.
So the stairs are facing the pillar, right?
Yeah,
Not
stairs
chest.
face the pillar, and then the chest is to
Yeah.
the right of that.
to the right of it. Exactly. Yeah.
And the
It's a
chest
very
is
weird placement of that chest. Why is it not centered?
It is,
on
yeah.
the floor?
I would have, at the very least, I'd say put it on the other side, so you have to like, like it's interesting.
I think it was built in a way that sort of expects you to deal with more and more pillagers at every floor. But usually when you come here, it's just empty, which is a
Really
bit sad.
Oh, that's not my experience at all. Every time I come to one, I get
really?
destroyed by at least one pillager.
The inside?
Yeah, on the inside, like I always find one on like the third floor, and it just starts like wrecking me with its crossbow. Because they do some serious damage. Yeah. No, honestly, to a fault is how I wish I found them empty, because whenever I see them in a speedrun, I'm like, well, I need this stuff, so I'm gonna just grab a crossbow or something.
I guess maybe I'm talking mainly from a long-term survival aspect and not speedrunning.
Because of the mob. Yeah, I guess I don't see them in a long-term world ever. Well, actually, yeah, you're right. When I see them in my Let's Play world, they're always empty. I don't know why that is. You're right. Something about mobs despawning, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bit problematic that they spawn in such a big area around it, so the chance of them spawning inside is lowered, which is a bit of a shame. I think that could use some tweaking.
It should just be... It should be a tower that's filled with like 100 of them. It should be like an intense like battle. That'd be fun.
I think 100 is a bit much, but yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. More like 89. That's a much more reasonable.
perfect number.
Yeah, it should be like cows when they're trapped in like one block and they start spewing out. It should be like that the moment it spawns in. Yeah. It's an army.
So you try to run in, but you're just launched out because of entity cramming. Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I'm glad you understand.
So I think this structure is fairly new, so it's probably the same. We didn't find anything different. Oh, I know what could be different. Take the banner. What is it called?
Yeah, it's called the Illager banner, but it's not in blue anymore.
We caught it. Mine's called Ominous Banner.
Oh, whoa. I was expecting it to be a difference. It's the same banner, it just has a different name.
I think it's the same banner, right? It says it's the same shape and stuff.
Yeah.
If
actually,
you look at it, it looks like an illager.
If I'm not mistaken, it's again I don't know which platform or when or if they fixed it, but it's a banner you couldn't make using a loom yourself because it uses 7 or 8 patterns.
Yeah. That's the point of it, right? It's a treasure banner because you can't make it yourself. That's pretty cool, I think.
But I thought on Java it wasn't like that, and it just was, or maybe it was Bedrock, maybe it was console, but I feel like it looked slightly worse on one platform. But maybe I'm wrong. If it looks like an illager to you, then it looks like an illager to me.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I like collecting them too, because it's got a unique name, so it feels like it's the weirdest thing to collect because it has no value, but I still do it anyway.
I mean, what does have value though, Toy Cat? We give things value, right? Nothing really has value.
What if value is just a concept we make up?
No, but you know what? That's
you actually are right. Yeah,
right?
No, it's correct.
True.
But it is one of those like mind blown thoughts where like it does like everything you assume has value doesn't. It only works because other people, like, nothing inherently has a price. Like, people will like be like, yeah, that Charizard's worth 10,000. But if no one wants to buy a Charizard for 10,000, it's not worth 10,000. Like, we just say that it's worth 10,000. I don't know why I'm using Charizard as an example here. I could have used infinite other things. But you know, how much is Minecraft worth? There's a big.
Are you looking to buy? what's the...
I mean, like, if Minecraft cost like it doesn't work because everyone has copies and people would just pirate if it was too expensive. But I feel like Minecraft is one of those few games that like provides more than $60 of value, but then also charges significantly under. And I think that's
for sure. Right, it's definitely not to the industry standards of pricing for sure. Like, it's way above.
The value quotient you get from it is high. Although then you could argue, what's the value of software, man? Like, is No.
What you should say is, what's the value of a desert temple? That's
Infinite
the value
dollar.
you're paying for. Exactly.
I will pay an infinite amount for a.
So I'm expecting the rest of your payment, Toy Cat. It's infinite dollars minus
Oh no.
20 euros. How much you pay? I don't know which platform you bought it on.
I bought it on all the platforms, man. Name a platform and I have it.
I'll give you $100 discount then from Infinite.
I've also it's gotta be like 200 by now. There's Wii U, there's Switch, there's Xbox One, 360, there's PS4.
Oh wow.
There's Android, there's iOS, there's Kindle, there's Windows 10. I had to buy Windows 10 again
because
because
the old one. Did you try it on Switch? I heard it's really bad on Twitch.
It's really bad on Switch.
The UI is really broken.
Here's the thing. Again, I don't want to dive into the whole how console changed thing for the 100th time, but so when 4J made console on Switch, they did a really bad job at first too, and then they slowly got better over time. Like, it wasn't a bad job, it was just a worse job than every other console. And then when Bedrock came out on Switch, they did a bad job, and then they slowly got better over time. But then, I don't know how or when it happened, it just got way worse all of a sudden, and it's like horrendous. It's like, it's not even like a real game at this point to me. It's like, every time I try to play it, I'm like, well, it's a good thing I'm stopping this right now. Like, I just play it on my phone with a controller. It's so much better than playing on a Switch. And I don't know, it's an interesting world where that's true. It's an interesting world where that's true.
Yeah, again, it's the same game. I don't think there's like huge problems, like bugs in the game, but I heard the UI and the experience of controlling there is really, really bad.
Yeah, the controls feel weird, but also it just runs badly, is my experience. Like you have to run it
low.
It both has a max render distance of like 12 or 14 chunks, and then it also runs, lags is the word you use. Yeah, like FPS drops. It's very interesting. Should we find another structure?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it makes sense that Minecraft's on so many platforms and like trying to get the Bedrock running on all those platforms, but I see the.
Dude, we have Minecraft on Kindle. I heard that
like I said,
recently. I know what.
I bought it on Kindle. I own it. You can look through my achievements. And,
you know when you bought it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, gotta get those achievements, man. Gotta get those achievements.
There should be an achievement. Oh my god, if we do that, people are gonna hate us. Achievement, buy Minecraft on all edition.
Well, the thing is, you can get I think it's 1800 gamer score on every single platform that Minecraft exists on. So, and if you have a realm, it works in all of those different. So you can use the same world to get the achievements 8 times if you want to. I haven't done that, but
cool.
I know of many who have.
Dude, I've been really enjoying your series of stupid speedruns. I don't know how you call it, but that's how I call it. I really enjoyed it. I think that's really cool. Trying like find like a niche thing and trying to do that there. I think that's really nice.
Do you mean like the 100 blocks and the music disc thing and the?
Yeah, but
do you mean like the speed?
Like the last one was the speed. It's not actually a speed run, right? But it's still speed running with speed.
It's a literal speed run. I don't know.
I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think I don't know why, but apparently humanity likes doing stupid records, right? We all know this. And I think it was really cool to see like this niche thing that probably no one does, but still doing it. It's fun. I don't know. It's cool.
I like it too. I have I do have something stupid. I've been trying to get it going for weeks now, but I do have a silly speedrun in the works. That's very complex. Teaser.
I'll wait for it. I'm waiting for it.
It's
Do you want to tell us, or is it the?
I'll just say I think I actually will be getting at least one world record with my silly idea.
Okay.
I like.
It's actually things that are in speedrun.com, or do you come up with them and then they
actual speedrun.com things. Although my favorite silly speedrun was definitely the peaceful one. That was the silliest category that I enjoyed playing. That was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Being Minecraft on peaceful.
I wonder if you can suggest, like, how do they get the categories, right? Can I suggest a new speedrun category?
Yeah, it is a. I used to think. Yeah, I used to be curious about the running of it too. It is surprisingly community based. Like, if you suggest it and there's like a good enough, like you just have to like, if the mods see it and they're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, we'll set up. If there's like something there they'll set up the category for it. It's
Very
surprisingly less formal than you might expect. Like if you went in there and asked, they'd be like, "Yep," because you can be like, I run this stuff. Like this is my kingdom. Or you could be nicer about it. They'd also, but like yeah, I think they're surprisingly open to suggestions. It's cool.
Cool. Maybe I'll come up with some
A silly
idea.
speedrun. Speedrun, but you have to have speed 255 on. That's a no.
I think that was that didn't go that well for you. I don't think I want to try that.
It's really fun. It's so fast. That's the biggest problem. No, there is a speedrun. I only know about this. One of my mods is really into speedrunning. She's apparently, I don't know if this is real. I've never seen it myself. There's a speedrun category for beating Minecraft on a random seed, but you get to start with an Elytra and maybe fireworks too. So like it's speedrunning, but again, quite literally. Like you can fly around. So the whole looking around part of the speedrun is removed. And that sounds fun to me. I'd love to try all these silly categories. That
is interesting.
Anyway, yeah, let's find a structure chat. Wait, actually no wait. Let's find one more pillager outpost and see if the dark oak plank is a difference. Because I feel like we did get a win here, but we didn't like solidify it,
Let's see. Is that a different one? It is a different one. Does it have any supporting structures? I think it doesn't.
Oh, right, we're going to have to keep on looking till we find a...
Yeah, I think this one has nothing around it. Yeah, it has nothing around it. I want to see quickly if there's anything... Yeah, so first of all, I was right. The mossy cobblestone is in a different location. So he does randomly place those. Everything else looks the same inside. So I think it's the same, yeah. Okay, let's take another one.
Take a peek at my second one. So... For what it's... Okay, no. Yeah, my second one is west-facing and doesn't have any external structures.
Oh, I didn't check what it's facing. I'll check this one.
Oh, wait. So my second one does also have a tower that also does have planks. Not tower, a cage that has a iron golem at the base. Also, it's just because it was snowing, it has snow under the iron golem too. But...
So mine is facing east this time, and still there's no supporting structure. So I'll go to the next one. It's
definitely randomly rotated. I expect that, but also it's always worth having a little note. And then
yeah,
my second one does have dark oak on the planks. I have to quickly beer it back. Can you do your best and entertain the stream? Make them not hate me.
Okay. Chat, are you ready for it? I'm going to do a dance for you. It's going to be incredible. Okay? Watch me. Are you enjoying the dance? I'm hoping you're entertained. No, I'm just kidding. I'm wondering, did he say that these were just a pumpkin on a cobblestone before? Very entertained. I'm happy we're entertained. We've had so many friends come over just on the stream that I can't talk to you guys. Corner Hut, it's so good to have you here. And Mort, hey. Speedrunning is fun. Yeah, I should have speedrunning as well. All the content I need. Yeah. The bunny. Look at that bunny. Look at the content bunny. Were you the one that was gonna make archaeology? Yes, that's me, Greg. Hey. Look at the cute bunny. I think Toycat said these were different. Cobblestone below bottom fence. Oh, like there. Like this one was cobblestone. Interesting. And we don't have a cage here again, so we need to go again. The bunny is swimming. It's okay, Geek, no problem. Can you see the YouTube stream chat? No, I can't. Sorry, chat. If you're writing something on Toycats one, I don't see it. You can come over here if you want to say something. There is a speedrun category for fighting a kelp block, for lighting a kelp block on fire. It's called Dank percent. That sound very interesting. Like if you spawn next to an ocean. Oh well, you have to cook everything. Ah, okay. I guess it's fairly quick, probably.
What are you discussing right now?
Someone said there's a speedrun category for lighting a kelp block on fire. I don't know. I don't know why.
I like that as a
dank percent.
Dank. Oh, because it's weeds, right? I get it. That's wouldn't a better one.
Oh no, I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, right.
I'm a very big nerd. I've never done anything like that, and I don't get those sort of things.
Let's see if we can light a kelp block on fire within 420 seconds, shall we? Let's see if we can do that. Sorry, I gotta make the joke.
Did you say something about the fighting dummies that they have cobblestone?
Yeah, underneath them they have it's even more pronounced here. They have cobblestone underneath them. If they're not on level ground. Not a single one.
Like I have a fence, and above it there's hay block, and above it there's pumpkin. Mm-hmm. No cobblestone.
So I've never seen it as pronounced as I've just seen it right here. But if it doesn't spawn on level ground, it spawns on cobblestone to like connect. And mine spawned 3 blocks above level ground, so it's got like a little tower below it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to see mine? Because it looks very like it's not a big difference, but it is kind of quirky.
What the hell? Oh wow! Wait, I'm gonna show chat as well. That's it's very pronounced. Wow.
It is very pronounced.
Yeah, so again, you see, this is what I was talking about, the support block. Mm-hmm. So we have something called bearding, like from the word beard. Mm-hmm. So if something spawns like half in the air, then you're adding a beard under it. So it's like doesn't seem like it's completely floating. So different things have different beard blocks. Like, for example, villages have sort of a dirt or grass bearding.
Isn't it cobblestone under a village? Oh, wait, if it's in water, it's... Oh, they have those little island platforms now. I'm thinking of old villages, sorry. Yeah, they have a little dirt, beard. I like the term beard.
Yeah, and again, it might be a bit different between Java and Bedrock. Yeah, so mine doesn't have it, but it's also doesn't need it here, so I don't know, right? It's on flat ground.
Mine had one earlier in the desert, too, so maybe we could see if the beard is different if you found a third one. But did you find out if you had a page?
Look at this.
That had...
This might be a beard. It's hard to know, but it kind of looks like it. If you look at my stream for a second.
Okay, let's take a peek.
Tell me when you see it.
Tell
me when you see it.
I see your screen, yeah.
So this, I think, is a beard, right? Because look at this. Again, there's no way to 100% know because it's very random. But it looks like the ground here was going to come over here, but he wanted to do this, so he just added a bunch of dirt, right? Just because it goes in here, I'm saying maybe it's a beard.
Yeah, it could be. It's hard to be sure. That's the thing. Yeah, and that's impressive if that is.
I will say that if someone from the Java team is watching, they might think I'm completely stupid because, again, I did not work a lot with world gen or structures yet, so I might be completely wrong. But that's what I think, at least.
Huh.
I have more experience with like mobs. I worked a lot with the new AI system that we have both on Java and Bedrock.
Show people you're smart. Like tell them a fun fact they don't know about mobs.
A fun fact you don't know about mobs.
Exactly.
I can do different things for Java and Bedrock. Bedrock has 2 different villagers. They have old school villagers and new villagers. And in 1.14 in Pillage and Pillage, we had to create a whole different villagers village, like a villager, goddammit, entity, basically to keep backward compatibility for marketplace and stuff. So we actually, in old maps, you will actually get a different mob that is also called villager. I think it's villager V1 or something like that.
Yeah, that I've encountered that, and I suspected something like that, but it makes sense when you're saying it. Like, that's why they have the weird old trades and like,
Yeah,
etc.
exactly. A weird fact about Java. So Java has a new AI system, and new in the sense that there's almost no mobs that are written in it other than maybe villagers and now axolotls and goats. And it's a whole new AI system. Like when I worked on the goats, we actually needed to create a new panic goal. So when you punch a mob, take a cow,
and it
you
spins
give it a
around in
smack,
circles. Yeah.
then it starts like panicking, right? So we actually needed to write a whole new panic goal and try to make it as close as we can to this behavior, so when you punch a goat you feel like it's doing the same thing, but it's not exactly the same code.
Really?
So that was interesting.
I like that as a what was wrong with the old code?
Everything.
Okay.
No. What was wrong? I'm not in the Java team, but I think the main thing was that we're trying to make the behaviors stateless sort of thing. Like, so we used to have something called goals that sort of, how do I explain? Like, the mob knows a bunch of stuff and then does something according to those variables, right? But for example, if we have Cellophane in chat, so he's gonna make me look stupid now, of course. Yeah, Cellophane knows a lot more about this, but I think at least in the AI I worked with, I know I'm not talking out of my ass at least. So imagine you have a cow, and the cow should both run away from whatever punches it, and it should squirt milk in that thing's eye to get away, right?
Yeah.
Normal Minecraft scenario.
Normal. Yeah.
So those are two separate goals, and those two goals both need to know who punched it. And previously in the goal, it was sort of like messed up. It was like either duplicated, so you have the data in both of them, and then you get bugs and stuff like that, or it was in like a bad place in NBT or something like that. Now you have something called memory structure, right? So the mob has a memory structure, and it can hold different memories, and it refreshes those memories in different intervals, and it's like really good for performance and stuff. And then all the behaviors can all I'm getting really techy. I don't know if it's boring at this point.
No, I like this.
Just to wrap it up, all the behaviors can access those memories, and they can share memories, so you don't need to duplicate data, basically.
So I know that it's pretty cool from a program perspective, and like I can't imagine the performance savings of like rather than doing a whole bunch of things, just having one central point. But I like the headline for that can just be goats have memories, unlike other mobs. The goats remember.
Yeah, that's a good. It's sort of right. I mean, those mobs have a memory as well. It's just more stupid. It's like less. I don't know. Yeah, it's less organized, right?
I mean, but
it's goats. If you punch a goat, it will remember it.
If you punch a goat, it will remember it. That's what makes goats an interesting mob. They'll remember your punches in a way that the other mobs just won't.
Yes.
No, I like that. I like the explanation. Thank you. I was a little complex, but you have proven that you are smart, at least to.
Okay, great.
Now no one can question that. Also, you have like half a Mojang in your chat. That is, you got like a little office party over there.
They all came at the one stream, but I can't really talk to them too much. But yeah, it's okay. It's happy. I'm happy to see. We talked about it the other day. I was at this virtual creative summit thing where we had some content creators and stuff, and we all talked about how a lot of people who are content creators in profession are actually very shy in real life, and how weird it is that when you join a room of people in VC or something in voice chat, it can be really intimidating, even though your normal job is talking to thousands of people, right? And I don't know, it was interesting to talk about that. It's completely different. It feels completely different. So I said, yeah, for me, for example, I feel completely free and not stressed on a stream until someone I know is in chat. Second you see someone you know, it's like, oh wait, they see me say these things. It's real now. It's like it's really happening. It's
It is. It's like the thing we were talking about at the very start with like when you're talking to someone, there's like like a game of politeness in there. And so now instead of just talking to yourself and having people listen, in a way it's you can't, even though it's true and those people just happen to be people you know, you're kind of talking to people friends or co-workers and so there is a you have to be more restrained. You can't be like, you know what, is Minecraft worth anything? No, it's the worst game in the universe. It does the cows don't even have memories or whatever. Or on a more real level, it's like you have to, the way I would describe it is like the character mask thing, where like you're a slightly different person to every person you talk to, and there's like all of those. You can be the same person to the nebulous idea of stream chat, but when it becomes a bunch of individuals, you're like, oh, how do I do that?
That's definitely true. It's definitely true.
Yeah, you're right though. Most content creators I've ever met are kind of shy too. It's interesting. It's fascinating. You wouldn't expect it, but it is true.
Yeah, I think like I haven't expected it the first time I heard it, but the more I hear about it, it actually makes more sense to me. Like I have a friend who is a professional illusionist, right? Like a magician, whatever, right? We have more exciting words for it today. But he told me how he was very shy as a child, right, or as a kid in high school and stuff. And he sort of went in this direction partly as this challenge of overcoming that, right? And I think that that's part of why people who are shy go into streaming sometimes. It's like, this is the place where you feel like you can overcome that shyness, right? And be open.
I see it
as people.
Partially what you're saying. It definitely is true that, like, to me, streaming is still terrifying. Like, how am I meant to entertain, like, 100 people, let alone more at the same time? Why are you hanging around and also liking it enough to, like, financially support it? It's mind-blowing. It's crazy. But the other part of it, I think, is also that, like, if you're super extroverted and super outgoing and talky, etc., you'll be out in the world doing those things. If you're on the there's a selection bias of like only people who are on the internet a lot can do the air quote jobs that are on the internet a lot, right? Like you don't have many YouTubers who are like, oh yeah, this is I spend 7 days a week going to parties and socializing. Because they're busy going to those things.
That's a good point.
That's always how I've seen it. Because I don't know. I personally like one of the things I'd like to believe I'm good at is like people who are like kind of shy, like bringing them out of their shell is like a fun game to me. But it's like it's because it's like one of those hard things that like no one can do, but like maybe that's the fun in it. Because I definitely
have a great example of bearding here if you want to check it out. Like this is very clearly bearding.
Looking forward to seeing a beard. Show me your big beard.
This is actually like a case where it's not great, right? I would argue we shouldn't be here.
You mean the thing under the islands, right? I'm just seeing you punch kelp right now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
now
no,
I'm looking at.
Oh, yeah, you do mean those. Okay, yeah, I totally, villages in particular are the, like, it's better than the alternative, but it's also the most, the fact that the one I can point to and know for sure is always a village. Like, I don't think there's any.
Maybe it shouldn't have this part, right? It should be cut off, right? And this should be deleted. Or sometimes we have sort of like bridges that go off like this, which also seems kind of cool to me, right? It's like it's almost like a pier.
Yeah, I've always liked the bridges. I've always thought that was a cool little feature. I mean, they used to use exclusively the bridges before 1.14, right?
Yes. Yeah. It is a good thing in general, bearding. Like, if you have a house that is half over the water, it's great to beard it. Just when it's a huge beard like this that it's really noticeable.
Yeah, exactly. There's a limit to. I mean, I'm sure even the right, like in the case you're seeing right there, as long as it went all the way to the ocean surface, like maybe it looked like it was a deliberately built thing, it'd be like, oh, that's cool. You know, like I think it's just a few blocks away from being great. Because like seeing one of those and being an island by itself makes sense. But actually, wait, no, that's not how islands work in the real world either. Am I the only one who always? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It would have been better.
Yeah, I always forget that islands are like not just floating pieces of land; they're like actually full on like.
Yeah.
And so I guess to be more like real life, they should be, you know, just like straight down to the floor rather than the way they are now. Yeah, I've gone.
Yeah, but obviously that becomes harder and harder to do, right?
Because obviously, the ocean.
It's hard to sort of go out and more out and more out, and at some point you might cross a chunk border, right? Which makes it even harder to generate because you're loading more chunks to make this work. Like it's a very hard technical problem.
Yeah, I can imagine to make it work in every time. Like when you look at a village structure, you just see the village structure. You don't see all these technical problems and think like, oh.
Yeah, I agree. Also, like you could argue that this is actually cool, right? I don't think this is breaking anyone's game.
I think coolness is proportional to how rare something is. Like if it's broken all the time, not cool. When it's broken 1 in 100 times, actually pretty cool. It's interesting that we like. Wait, right now I've got a one of those ocean ruins that generate on land. Really cool. The 50th time you see it, it's like it shouldn't be there.
Yeah, it might be too often. You mean? This is really cool though. We have a shipwreck in the middle of the village. That is so cool.
Yeah, looking around Minecraft Generation is so fun when you find those moments. Like,
yeah,
what's that doing there?
I agree. I love this so much. I would make such a cool story about, like, this is where this village started from, right? They shipwrecked here and then they started building around it.
I totally do.
Because there's no access to the ocean for this ship.
Okay, it was swimming. It was going real fast. It got swept up by the tide, started flowing, and then landed all the way over there. That's the canon now.
No, you know what I would do? I know what I would do. I would come over here, and I would switch up these blocks to purple, and I would say this is an end chip actually. Right? It like floated down here.
That is actually funny. I think I actually saw someone make it, and they tweeted me. But my next idea I really want to do is build an end ship, but in an ocean. Like that seems like a quirky little fun thing to see. I feel like end ships in the overworld are criminally underrated, underbuilt, underused, underappreciated, something like that.
Yeah. Salifan says maybe it's been 100 years and the land changed, or maybe a storm put it there. I don't think 100 years will create this mountain, but the storm could be maybe. Like maybe there's like a really big flood or something. I don't know. Yeah, I really love like thinking about these stories. I think it's really weird, interesting. I don't know how to categorize it, but this is what I do for fun in my game, and I'm going to do that to an official thing that will become part of Minecraft in archaeology, right? Archaeology is just me saying, what if this and this structure was here? Like,
I can't imagine how unreal that must be. I think we joked about this already, but like it's kind of crazy that like you can, when you sent me an email from the @Mojang thing, I was like, whoa, that's like real, up until this point, like you're just a guy, but then it's like, whoa, that's like proper email right there. And then I think that it must I don't know, I'd be like tempted all day every day to be like, I could just do insert crazy thing here. I could just do insert, like, it's a lot of power. Great power, great responsibility.
The only reason I don't say that at every conversation ever is because I know it's annoying for people. I would. You don't get how often I think about that. Like, okay, I've been working. Like I teased my chat about it before, but actually, why? Like, it's so obvious. There's no need. I've been working on advancements recently, and it's like, so I've been working here for a year and a half now, right? And I added things into the game. There's things that are my creation in the game, but for some reason, I've never added an advancement before. And when I added an advancement, I was staring at the advancement board, looking at this new thing that I added, and I was like, I added that. I made something, and now it's here in Minecraft advancements board. Like, what is going on? It's, yeah, every time I add something I haven't added before, it's again this, oh my god, it's in Minecraft now, and I made it.
I can't think. I wonder what point that goes away, or if it ever does, or if you're like 5 years in being like, whoa, that new type of chicken I just added, everyone's playing with that. That's their new thing, I wonder. Do you have like a thing like that in your head? Like there's gonna be a point where you're like, well, this is mundane now. I just make Minecraft. Or do you think it's just gonna?
I don't know. It's like I have to believe that it will, because that's how things work, right? Like things become boring after a while, no matter what they are. But I've never worked on Minecraft before, so maybe it won't. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it could in my head, but just my logical side says, yeah, you're gonna get bored at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it's one of the interesting things about being a YouTuber is you have you see a lot of people who are also YouTubers who go through that phase where they're like, I might quit my job. Oh, I am quitting my job. This is the dream I'm doing full time. And then you see them 3 years later being like, I'm burned out. I can't make videos anymore. And
yeah,
I think that's so interesting that like every job has like a point where you're like, it becomes the normal. Like I guess it's like remarkable how humans can adjust to anything, including good things. Maybe you just gotta. Maybe you should maybe you just gotta like capture your enjoyment right now and then watch this video like once every so often and be like, whoa, I was that shocked. I think like I guess gratitude is the
joke, right? That's a very valid, good idea. Like
I really do think, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like I have a drive folder where I save videos of myself explaining to my future self some things, right? Like the most obvious ones are stuff like, not everyone hates you, or you're not always miserable, right? Because sometimes when you are miserable, it tends to feel like, oh, I am always miserable, and every time I'm smiling, I'm just faking it, which is it's not true. It just feels like that. So I have videos of saying like, I know it feels like everything's terrible. You feel like nothing's gonna ever be good again, but you're wrong. Look at me. I am happy. I'm really happy.
That's
or
good.
Things
that's
like
smart.
that. And it helps, because when other people tell you that, when you're in a bad state, you're like, oh, they're just lying, right? They're not really like me. They just say it because I'm bummed out. But when you tell it yourself, it's different.
There's definitely a very different. It's weird to say that because you're almost saying, I trust myself more than I trust other people. Like other people tend to lie all the time, but me, I know it. But I think it's totally right that like knowing from yourself is much better than knowing from other people.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I lie less than other people. It's that I remember making that video, and even if I don't remember being happy then, I remember that I was honest, right? I know if I was lying or not. I will never make that video when I'm not feeling it, right? I only make these videos when I'm in a point of super hype, right? And I remember when I was that person, I was happy. I was not lying for sure.
This version.
When
of
other
ulrAF,
people say it to you, like there's a really big chance of them trying to make you happy right now, right? They love you and they want you to feel better, so they're like, yeah, you don't suck, but you know you suck, right? Just to be honest.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
always my cynicism to it, being like, well, of course you're saying that. No one says to someone who's like, I'm feeling really sad, like, yeah, it's good. You deserve to be,
Yeah, you're right.
and you're
You
terrible. I wish we would. I wish, I know it's terrible and it's against the current the message that would be said. But every now and then do tell someone they deserve to be terrible, and be like, oh, that's different. That like hearing the alternative makes you believe the real one more. Chat, are you doing bad? If so, good. You should be.
You're terrible.
You are terrible, and that's why.
I actually did that at some point. So I have a very pointed thing about me that I like with my friends. I am very honest. Like I tell them that, well, again, good friends, not everyone, but I tell them that in advance. If you want encouragement blindly, don't come to me. Like I'm not the person for that. You come to me when you want honesty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know that I'm honest because, like, if you show me something that's bad, I'm gonna tell you that it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And most times it's not great because people have a hard time accepting things like that. But for example, there was a case where a friend of mine came to me and she was like, I need to tell you something. I was like, what? And she's like, I came specifically to you because I need you to hear it and you to tell me like what I am or whatever. And she told me I just cheated on my boyfriend. And
you told her
she was like, I did. She was miserable, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was on the verge of tears, and she just came to me, and everyone else would be like, oh, you did what you could, or yeah, you know what, at least you're atoning for it now, right? And I was like, no, dude, you suck.
Yeah.
Like that's not okay. And it's weird, right? But that's sort of what she came for. She wanted me to sort of tell her how bad she is and what she needs to do now. And I forced her to tell her boyfriend, even though she was afraid of it and didn't want to do it. Like things like that. So I get what you're saying, right? I think that is, I don't know, that is the responsible thing to do with your friend. Now, after that, I will not let her go off and like be miserable forever, right? She's still my friend. I want her to feel better, and after that I would make sure to like call her up and make her feel better after she did what she needed to do and stuff.
Yeah, it should be like you suck and right now you need to feel bad, and in a few days like, okay, you still beating yourself up, now work on making it better rather than feeling bad, because you feeling bad doesn't help anyone.
Okay.
That's and then a few days after that it's like, well, it's done. There's a process rather than just everyone. The normal response is just, oh, really, you cheated on them? That must suck for you. You having a bad time.
I hate that.
Do you want to get some froyo, make it better? Like I do agree that you need to have it. Without honesty, there's very little, if anything, you can really do. I really think. Wait. You know what? This because if you're tell me something bad about me in an honest way. Do it. Give it to me. Right on the internet.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm excited. No, I'm excited. This is what I like about like usually like when people are super close to you, sometimes you find it like they find it hard because they're like, oh, if I say the wrong thing, if I pick up on that's gonna burn forever. But do it right now. Say something.
Because I actually have something that I was going to talk to you privately afterwards about.
Let's do it.
Are you sure?
I'm excited. I'm worried, but I'm excited. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Let me remind myself this specific name. 1 second.
Ooh, there's a name.
You asked for it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited.
I'm honest.
I'm ready to.
Where is it? There it is. About a week ago, you made a video called These New Mountains Suck, and This Is Why.
Yes.
That video legit made a developer feel very bad in a bad situation, and I feel like you don't have to phrase things the way you do in your thumbnails.
Yeah, that's sad. You know, I thank you for sharing. See, that is something I need to hear. That is something that's good, especially openly. Like that is sad that hurt. I'm assuming the person who...
I will say that I get the internet culture we're in, right? I get the clickbaits, I get everything there. Still, like I think you can get. I don't know. You know what? I was gonna say you can get views without it. Maybe you can't. I really don't know. I have no information about YouTube. It might directly affect your bottom line. And I still think it's not cool.
Yeah, no, there genuinely is the there is the real thing on YouTube of like the only thing that people are, because you know, it's obviously you're mostly trying to, you've got like a few words to use it. The people are most excited for heavy enthusiasm and heavy, like, let's call it anti-enthusiasm. Like, yeah, I guess, which is a type of enthusiasm just against something, right, as opposed to for something. And so a video that isn't exciting is, I think mountains are kind of good and also have some problems. And here is the detailed breakdown of the good and the bad. What I think the best way to discuss something is good, bad, ugly, or whatever. You know, like positives, negatives, then the weird room for improvement in the future. I think I think it sucks if like that is going straight. You know, like especially because the reason that it is so negative or so positive in a title, because you know the reverse would be when I talk really positively about something in a thumbnail, but then the video is actually more complex as well. I think the downside to because the reason it is so positive or negative is because you're trying to get people on that one click, but then it must suck if you just see the thumbnail and you're like, oh, this person's trashing what took me months to do.
Obviously, again, I'm not a kid. It's obviously not all on you, right? Like it came in also a bad situation for that person in general, like who was not in great spot and was dealing with their own things. I don't know. Yeah, again, I was gonna bring it up as like a private thing of it would be nice if you try not to.
In general,
I don't think it's like the end of the world.
Yeah, I in general, I think I try to stay away from again, like even though I know that's one of the two main ways to talk about something that's interesting, like, you know, in any given snapshot, rather than being like, oh, I love the skulk sensor, instead be like, you know what, this redstone's dumb and here's why. You know, I generally err towards the positive thing, but partly because of like, well, this is all hard and whatnot, but also because I think it's generally better to put that into the world. But also I think, it's funny because looking at this precise one, I really can't see how do you hit that better in the future. I'd like to apologize to whoever made the mountains, though. There's lots of good things too. I'm sorry I didn't convey that in my.
I will tell you that, you know, when I got into your videos, I was like at the beginning I had a phase of how dare he say these things about us sort of thing, right? I'm being honest, right? I was a bit like, oh, he's talking about this thing that I made, and I'm feeling bad about it, and it's but I will say that when I thought more about it, I feel like a lot of the times you say things that I would have said the exact same thing if I didn't have my extra knowledge of things. And I can't really fault you for that. Like sometimes you say things about you really like calling us Microsoft, which again I get. You know, I was like,
I understand why that upsets a portion of the Mojang stuff. It is a fully separate but
the
together
thing is that
company.
I was being a bit upset about it, and then I saw a Facebook post of myself, I think like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was praising Mojang for something, and then I was like, the post was like, oh, Mojang are so awesome because of this and this and this, but they were sold to Microsoft recently. Hopefully that won't change, right? Like, I can see someone being a long-term fan of the game being stressed out by that and being wary of this big entity coming into this game, right? Like, I the thing is that, again, I was at the beginning, I was very defensive, and I learned that most of the things you're saying, I would agree with you if I didn't have my more information. I am saying most. There are some things you say sometimes that I disagree with, but that's.
I mean, that's
like,
healthy,
okay,
right? It would be strange if you didn't, right? I think anyone who expects 100% agreement isn't saying accurate things, but I do think there's like on the, because I think about this one a lot too, like, because a lot of people who work at Mojang are like, yeah, this is its own business unit. It exists under Microsoft, but also not really. And you can see the fact that Microsoft stuff like is so poorly integrated into Minecraft is a good sign that even if they're putting pressure on it, the pressure isn't being listened to, right? But also, it is still, at the end of the hierarchy does eventually come Microsoft, right? Like you do work right now for Microsoft, right? Or would you even now as I say that, you're like, well, but not, right? But you do, right? Or do you?
It depends on your definition, right? Like my contract is Mojang, not Microsoft, and pretty like 99% of the people that I report to are Mojang, but they report to Microsoft people sometimes. So again, I don't want to, but Microsoft people have pull on things. That's definitely true, right? In the higher level, but it's really true. I told you that before, and I'm standing by it, right? I'm not gonna change my tune here. The people who are actually affecting what goes into the game, they are Mojang 100%, right? And they are people who are very passionate about the game. And just so there is no sort of the opposite of certainty, doubt. Just so there's no doubt, I am not trying to say Mojang and secretly saying Stockholm, right? Our Redmond friends over at Redmond, they are also completely Mojang, and they're also very passionate about the game, right? I am saying Mojang.
I think, okay, so the thing I'd equate it to is if someone calls me European, it's technically valid, but I also feel like it's not an accurate indicator as to the UK's everything. It's like, am I from Europe? I mean, like, mostly, yeah, I guess. I mean, it's technically but like all the things that like matter and that define me aren't in Europe, the continent as a whole, even though Europe, the continent, and so like like you are working for Mojang 100%. There's no question that that's most Mojang decisions are made by Mojang, but the parent company is Microsoft. And so if you like there's so many dumb things from the Notch era, but like one of them was like, oh yeah, Windows 10 did something we didn't like, so we're never gonna make, I don't know, some weird product. I think it was Minecraft VR. Like, doing dumb things like that can't be done as a sub. Like, I'd say it's probably one of the most independent relationships on some level, yeah, but it's still Minecraft can't have a little splash text that says buy Linux instead. Sucks. Yeah, or Microsoft sucks. Like there's PlayStation's better than Xbox. Something silly stuff like that. Yeah, like that would get not. It would. You could probably put it in, but at the very least, at some point, someone would be like, "Hey, can you not use use our money to criticize us?" And
yeah, that's probably true.
There's a level of independence in every power relation. Like I work for YouTube technically, right? I don't.
great example.
They
actually.
consider me an independent contractor, and my contract, I don't have a single contract with YouTube themselves. Everything goes through other things. And so, but indirectly, I make my income from Google. When Google does something terrible, that is indirectly what fuels my living. And although I can criticize Google freely, I'm lucky that it's so independent. They're like, there's only so far, or maybe even like I think Minecraft's always the good example of like, I can only bite that hack. Like a lot of YouTubers I've spoken to are like, if you criticize Minecraft too publicly, too broadly, too publicly, that will result in, it's biting the hand that feeds you. It's gonna result in some negative consequences. Whether those consequences are real or not doesn't affect that it's altering their behavior to me. And so...
No, but it's also, like, I would say that's real, right? Not in the sense, like, no one is going to do anything bad to you. This is Mojang, this is a group of people, this is not the KGB or whatever, right? But it is in the sense that you might not be invited to things, right? Or Mojang employees won't want to talk to you, and that, I think that's valid, right? Like, if you start your video with, oh, stupid Mojangs, they're just ruining the game, then, dude, I don't want to talk to you, right? Like, I'm not going to talk to you, I'm not going to follow you, I'm not going to react to your criticism. I'm just not going to listen to you anymore. So in that sense, there are reactions to you being biting the hand that feeds you. We don't feed you. But if you want a good relationship with Mojang, you need to be a good relationship partner. I think that makes sense, right? It's not us trying to shape your behavior, that us being people.
When again, this is a specific situation. When console was being replaced with Bedrock, all of the console YouTubers, like, we were like brought to a thing that like, hey, we're doing this great thing and here's why. And then like in the call, me and a couple other people were like, I raised the concern like, hey, but won't this cause this bad thing? And they're like, oh no, it won't cause that bad thing at all. Like, we're gonna make sure that's 100% gone, of course. And then time rolls around, they release, they do the thing, the corporate decision, and then there's a series of videos that are like, hey, this isn't a functional version of Minecraft. You can't argue that it is. And ever since that point, I've not had a official Mojang really contact point for all the stuff that used to, the certain things. And I'm sure, like, the easy explanation is like, maybe the person who dealt with me got fired, never moved it over, whatever it is. But it's also like, yeah, you do it. Again, I guess that's true of any relationship. Like, you have to be, it's two-sided. If the other side doesn't want you, but then the power dynamic of that can cause the adverse, and that's where I feel like you're like, even though Mojang is very independent, there is also a power dynamic within Microsoft where at any point they can make you not independent. And is it true independence if it's not guaranteed that way?
I would argue that's
it's a philosophical debate.
So you're saying that with not a lot of backing, right? Because that didn't happen yet. But you're saying it could happen because they own the company. But I would argue back that there is something very special in Mojang, right? And if Microsoft could have just buy Mojang and replace all the staff and put their own stuff on it, why haven't they done that, right? And the answer to that is that you have a lot of very special people working on Minecraft that know the game very well, and like, they've been here from the beginning. They know what the magic of Minecraft is. B, the community knows them and interacts with them. I think what you're saying is the same fear of, oh my god, Microsoft can just kill off Java tomorrow. And that's not how things work, because it's like you have a king of a kingdom, right? And you're like, oh, that king can just decide to kill all the people in the kingdom. And it's like, no, he can't. Right? Even if legally he can, he'll try to do it and he won't be successful.
I mean,
And I believe that's true for this situation as well.
a good equipment, because you're right that you can't do all of everything all at once. But there's again, I feel like we're diving very quickly almost into philosophy here. But I think the closer equivalent would be, I don't know, the state you live in, the country you live in, has a monopoly on violence, and they can't. So I don't know, if everyone commits a crime at the same time, you can't all be arrested. There aren't enough prison spaces. There aren't enough police. There aren't enough. But they can, at any point in time, if someone wants to, you can be disappeared. You know, like that's a terrible, like, almost conspiracy level language. Like, but you, at any point in time, your existence depends on people choosing not to do something. And thankfully, the way our systems are set up is that, like, yeah, there are procedures and etc. that have to be followed. But at the same time, like, I feel like I'm very aware of this, maybe too aware because of my recent run-ins of police over my e-scooter. But like, at any point in time, you can be arbitrarily, like, even though they can't do it to everyone, they can do it to someone. They can't, Microsoft can't do everything they want to Minecraft at a time, but they can put pressure on one decision, and that would be probably fine. Like, if they really wanted to cancel Java tomorrow, they wouldn't cancel Java tomorrow. They'd be like, oh, Bedrock's going to get updates a week early. And they could do that probably, right? If they put enough pressure on, people wouldn't leave over that. If they tried to cancel it or they tried to submerge you, feel like that, and that power relationship is impossible to define, even from the inside. Like, even from your shoes where you work for Mojang, it'd be tricky. From the outside, it's even trickier for sure. But also, it is just such that the very system, you are under their, at the very least, they're the ultimate power above your ultimate power. Your boss is always at some point gonna come to theirs. Do you feel that, or do you still disagree?
Yeah, I you're right. I don't know how to answer that. It's possible that they could do small steps and sort of slowly push things out until they, I don't know. It's possible.
I actually agree with you that it's unlikely. Like, I think that they don't want to look bad, and Minecraft makes enough money, right? Like, it's basically a money printing machine. They let it run how they want. There's a lot of weird, practices that would not be allowed if Microsoft was building it from the ground up.
Exactly.
Even like the very nature of the way the staff and the setup and the studio heads and the fact that I think there's like a Mojang CEO, even though that's not how CEOs normally work. Usually there's one for the whole company. So there's a lot of it's unlikely, but it's still I guess it comes from whether you're coming at the angle of like what is likely and what is possible.
I agree that it's possible. I think, like, I think it will be a very bad business decision for Microsoft to do something like that, and I don't think they will.
I think while Minecraft
there's a lot of unlikely things that could happen. Right?
But I think while Minecraft is hot, it's a dumb decision. But as soon as I think Minecraft's got decades, hopefully, before there's anything like that, because it's it's the world's most popular game. Like, it can do almost no wrong. But like letting a profitable business do its own thing is fine. But when a business is unprofitable, that's when you start, stabbing in and making your changes. And that's the mercy that I think Mojang exists.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Right. If the business starts going less good, then maybe our pull gets lesser. I don't know.
And that's why I think as a
But again, that's talking about things that could be well in the future, and we don't even know when or how they're gonna happen, right? That's not. Maybe aliens invade, right? And then the whole power demand changed. Like, I think it's valid to talk about things that are either happening or like what currently is happening will cause them, or something like that, right? If it's like 3 to 4 hops in the future of something maybe happening, like, there's not much you can do about it. So I don't think it's very valuable to sort of have that worry. Because what are we talking about, right? We're not doing a trick of let's see who can predict the future, right? People raise this as a real concern, things that they're worrying about, and I feel like worrying about this is not. You should not be worrying about this. That's either not happening or not happening soon.
As the single biggest concern, yeah, like the bigger concerns are things like, I don't know, will I don't know, lightning rods work, or are screaming goats going to be fun, or whatever tiny minutia. But if you're talking about, or like will Java Bedrock crossplay be coming? What are the immediate plans on that? That's sort of, I see why those are the things you should be immediately on the level about. But I guess I don't know. I see it from the perspective of like, Minecraft is currently the most successful game in existence, and as a end user that like both relies on it because it's my favorite source of entertainment, but also because it's bedrock on which everything else, you could argue the business side of things is built. When you see what looks like, again, I'm sure there's some. I'm sure there are lots of great reasons on the inside that you can't see on the outside because it would look the same. But when you see what looks like a bunch of maybe reckless decisions, you're like, I hope they stop doing that soon, huh? And I feel, but I see why it's important to find the distinction of Microsoft and Mojang there. Like I see, it's just hard. Where do you draw the line? Like I know where you would draw the line. Like maybe. But how would an average person draw the line?
Yeah, I am not saying it's important to find the distinctions. That's you're saying that, and that's fine. But I don't think that's important. I think taking it as, and I'll tell you more than that, right? It's actually good for me that people do this distinction, right? And I'm currently making campaigning for not getting something that's good for me. Why? Because people have a tendency to say when something ain't good, they have a tendency to say, "Oh, those Mojang, they're awesome. They're making the best game for us." And when things are bad, they say, "Oh, damn, Microsoft's ruining the game." Right? And again, that's sort of good for me, right? Because I am not Microsoft, but it's just not true. Like I can't say that more clearly. There is no distinction. Every decision you can think of lately, like years lately, in Minecraft, that's Mojang decision, not a Microsoft one. Like I honestly can't point. Well, you know what? I haven't been here. I've been here for a year and a half, right? I can speak for that thing, right? Even the decisions that feel as if they're Microsoft, like I don't know, marketplace stuff or creator stuff. That's not Microsoft. It's just the Redmond side, right? It's still Mojang. I don't know.
Couldn't you make?
There's really no distinctions to be made.
Isn't the Redmond side of Minecraft literally what was made by Microsoft though? Wasn't that the expansion? Like I believe there was some small team there before, but it was like that went from being a few people to now like the bulk of Minecraft stuff, right? And they happen to be in the same city as Microsoft. Happen to be, of course. No?
I'm not sure.
I'm saying like, if there are some decisions made by.
Are you talking numbers? Because I don't know who has more employees, the Stockholm side or the Redmond side.
Is it?
What are you talking?
About? I thought there was like hundreds of employees in the Redmond side and dozens in the Stockholm side. That's what it looks like. Like it's a lot of dozens, like maybe 100 something, I'd guess. But I didn't know that it was even close. Am I wrong?
I think you're wrong, but I don't really know. Cornhud said, I think Redmond has more employees. I'm not saying Stockholm has more. I don't know about that. I'm not saying that you're wrong about that. But I'm pretty sure you're wrong about the number of people in Stockholm. I think we're crossing 200, probably.
That's crazy.
I haven't been in the office for very long. Vanilla was very, very small. Vanilla, as in the people who work on the vanilla game, right? It was very small, like 20 to 30 people when I joined, I think, or maybe a bit more, but something like that. Right now, it's growing rapidly. I think we're probably approaching 50 or maybe even past that. But that's just vanilla.
Yeah, there's a
entire
whole
Stockholm office. There's the entire dungeons team.
The
there
dungeons
is the
team, right.
creative office. Everyone like doing creative, like YouTube and social and stuff like that. There's a lot of people in Stockholm. I'm not saying there's more than Redmond, because I honestly I've never been to Redmond and I don't know how many people there's there.
You should go.
Unfortunately,
sometime.
I really want to go visit.
Yeah, Seattle's a fun city. It's very, very far away from. It's But anyway,
Redmond?
sorry. Yeah, Redmond. Sorry,
I know nothing about
it's like,
it.
Sorry, I was just saying, like, it's all in the Seattle greater area. I actually, I was there just this last weekend, and there's like, they're all like, no, it's like Bellevue and Redmond, but it's like Seattle, right? It's the Seattle area. But
Okay.
I'm
not getting into it. I have no idea.
But sorry, the actual I wanted to ask if like, how do you level this in your head? That like Minecraft is a studio, let's say 500, maybe 400, hundreds of people. Like, why is it that when you take hundreds of people and work on the same thing, you don't get at one point Minecraft was one person. There's lots of other games that are one person. Why is it that you don't get hundreds of times more everything or anything? You know, it feels.
You're gonna make me say it, huh? You want me to say it?
I mean, I want you to say I want to hear what you believe that is, because I have my own interpretation, but I would like to.
I first of all, you're making me say the thing that everyone says so often.
Okay.
And I hate that saying. 9 women can't deliver a baby in 1 month.
I mean,
that's the cliche, right? That's what everyone says.
9
but
9 women can deliver 9 babies in 9 months, or a rate of 1 baby a month.
Yeah, but that's not what you're asking.
Yeah, no, I know
you're not asking.
Yeah. Are you saying too many cooks are ruining the broth?
No, that's not what I'm saying either. It is true that most things are not infinitely scalable, but that's not really the thing here. First of all, comparing it to the days of having 1 or 2 developers is not the right thing to do, because we are giving way more content than in the olden days. Like hugely more content. But what you want to say, the argument that will make me stutter for a second before I realize that it doesn't, is what everyone says about modders. Oh, Mojang is so slow and stupid. How can modders make it the same thing but faster, right? And that's really like it's so easy to answer that it's hard for me to understand why people don't get it, right? First of all, it's way easier to make something when someone else already made it, right? When we release something and we tell you this is how this thing works, after months of us thinking about things that fit and don't in the game, prototyping it, trying a million of different things, and then coming to this good solution, right? And then you're like, okay, then I'm gonna make it. That's like
they've done half the work.
You just took away a big part of what it is to design a game, designing it, right, and figuring out how to do it. So that's one thing, but that's not the only thing, right? Another thing is 500-person code review set up and says, no, that's not good. But that's not the only thing. Other things are when a modder does something, he doesn't need to worry about a million different distributions, right? And it working on all of them. And he doesn't need to worry about all the different player styles and all of them being either pissed or very happy about your specific feature. And like it just doesn't work the same, right? It's not even about modders, right? I can put a prototype out, Friday. We have Friday prototyping, right? We do a lot of really cool things there, but getting it to sort of have some sort of working prototype is very far than having it at the quality and polish that you need it to put it into the biggest game ever made. Like, you're affecting millions of players. You can't just do something and throw it out and be like, oh, maybe it's nice. Like, it doesn't work that way. We have a responsibility.
Do you think the responsibility is kind of holding it back as a whole? You know, like, do you think making 5 times more content, but then making it, you know, like, some of it would hurt the PvP people, some of it would, like, do you think that would be, is that the trade-off that you're thinking? Way more than...
Extremely worse. I rather have way less content, but that content feeling good for our community and people enjoying it for years and being a very deep content. I am honestly, I will always campaign for less but deeper rather than more but like shallow. Always. Like, when people say, why are there only this and this amount of biomes? It's a piece of feedback that I have nothing to do with. Like, I don't care how many biomes there are. I will be okay with one biome as long as it's deep and good. It's not about how many. I think a lot of people who say things like that, they look at Minecraft and they're the sort of people who played Minecraft at some point in the past. And they're fed up of it, right? They're like, oh, I played it. I know everything there is in it. I don't feel like playing it anymore, right? They don't actually like the game anymore. It's boring to them. And all they want is basically a new game, right? On top of this game. And that's why they're like, why don't I have 20 new biomes to visit? Well, because that's not what the game needs, or it doesn't really matter if you have 20.
Can I counterpoint you here? And say that I agree that the finished update should be polished, and I think you're right that it'd be better to have 5 well-polished, rounded features than 25 just random things a developer did one afternoon. But don't you also think that the snapshot process isn't used for this now, but it should or could or maybe, you know, whatever, it would be good for this. Like, all of those features should be thrown in the snapshots, and then the ones that attract the most ire can be removed, you know, when it's like, oh yeah, we decided to remove diamonds from the game because we figured, you know, it might be quirky. And then be like, oh, okay, people didn't like that. But people did love the fact that we made, I don't know, it's a llama, but it's got a bow on its back and a skeleton on its back, you know, skeleton jockeys, but llamas. Yeah, people love that idea. Let's work on that one and make it polished and complete. Like, shouldn't, like, Minecraft has the weirdest development process where the whole community can look at it, basically. Wouldn't that be a good place to, like, find that compromise between a bunch of features? Because I'm sure there's a ton of features that, you know, at the office have been, like, turned down because someone's like, oh, this might not be good. That the community would, like, roar and love and go crazy for, but they just have never seen.
You're saying that as if you haven't seen my tweet that says exactly that a few days ago.
Oh no, I only saw.
No,
I saw King B Dogs tweeting about how he wishes snapshots could have more features. I didn't see your tweet. I'm sorry. This is embarrassing.
Don't be sorry. I thought you did see it. It was just, you're just saying exactly what I said in that tweet. So I was like,
oh, really? Wow.
I retweeted.
I swear I haven't seen
I retweeted King B Dog's tweet, and I also opened sort of discussion about I want snapshots to be this, right? I want snapshots to be more about us experimenting together with your feedback. But, and this is a huge, very wide but. That is not something we can do alone, right? This is not a change that Mojang can just decide to do tomorrow, because if we did that, then instead of giving us valuable feedback, all of the discussion and comments would be angry about anything we removed.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm gonna call you out on this again, because we said we're being honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the remove features.
People keep making videos called "They just removed more features," then that's not gonna help with that, Toycat.
I am off the real, like, that's the thing, right? Like, if right now snapshots are just the main, like there's like
Who
snapshots
decided that?
went from I mean the community as a whole, I guess. I guess there is an interesting
Who
debate
is
here.
the
It's like,
community? Are you not the community?
am I
Like,
the community? I
you
feel
are
like
the community.
I feel
I'll
like
tell you more than that. The amount of time that I see people quote word for word what I heard a YouTuber say a day before in a video, I can't count the amount of time that I saw that. If
yeah,
you
I see
said
that
in your
too.
video,
I see it too.
if you said in your video, they removed this, I am sad about it. I think it's bad. But guys, let's remember that we want them to share things with us. We want them to show us stuff. And you know what? If not getting the bundles now is what we need to pay for us to have a cool game where we can design together and get feedback so close to developers, that's awesome. And then tomorrow on my Twitter, instead of being people angry and cursing me about removing stuff, they will say that, exactly what you said. Like, we have the power to shape the way the community sees these things, and if we want the developers to be more open and actually be able to share things with you guys, it's in your hands. Like, I said it on my tweet, and most of the comments were, well, maybe you should make a secondary snapshot series. And I was like, no. Do we have a snapshot series? That is the point of a snapshot series, right? There are so many problems with having another snapshot series. And even if we did, it will not work if the community is not on board.
But I think
it will just have another snapshot series where we can't remove anything.
It's that interesting thing with like okay, so another one that I know I've heard a few Mojang people complain, maybe isn't the right word, but mention, is that the community puts a lot of undue pressure on 1.0 releases, right? If it's 1 point something, the community sees it as a big update. They don't follow when Mojang tries to tell you, oh no, the 1.19 isn't a big update. It's just the next version, blah blah blah. That's not what the community hears, because, you know, I think there's a certain cynicism in the gaming world from when you hear a game developer say something, there's like a little bit of loadedness to it, you know? And so instead of looking at the words you're hearing, you're looking at the words you're hearing and combining them with the evidence. And so even though, you know, Mojang says, oh, 1.17 is just it's actually, you know, just part one of this major thing, it also has that major thing attached. You can try and redefine snapshots, but through the last how many years, snapshot has meant, oh yeah, this is a pre-development look at something that's going to be coming to Minecraft. You know, even if you know, because, you know, in reality, like, I mostly don't cover the Java stuff. But like, even if me and every other Java person in the world says, oh yeah, this is, you know, this could be removed next week, who knows for sure. This feature that's gone, it's good that way. I'm glad that they are making snapshots this way. That won't affect the majority. I guess I wonder. I think most people who play Minecraft don't watch videos. Or yeah, I don't think they watch videos. I think it's maybe like
people who don't watch videos are not part of the online community, right? They're not the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the people who come to my Twitter and scream at me that how dare I take away something from them. Those people definitely do watch YouTube.
Yes, I think I remember once. I remember once, like a long time ago. One of the first times I was like, I have to make this like little thing clear. I did see the exact thing you're describing. It's even painful for me to say out loud. I feel like I've done this like great terrible thing. Like many years ago, during some debacle, I was like, this is just terrible. So that this is a terrible like business decision someone's made. And I saw someone basically quote my exact video and like scream it at a Minecraft developer, or like even like it might be in the community manager or something. And I had to then clarify, like, no, this, even if you hate this business decision, you don't yell at the people who are doing their best to make the game good, you know, like this. And so I have to clarify, like, it's people doing the business, people doing, they're different people. You can't, and that was like, that's like, to me, the responsibility is always making it clear, like, it's not an individual's fault always necessarily, and it never ever, even if you can find the person who was making that weird business thing, yelling at them on Twitter is not a way you solve anything. Like, you're just gonna make someone feel bad. And that was like a painful thing for me to see. It's actually, it's funny though, because I see the person like every now and then. Like I don't follow them or anything, but I guess I see their tweets. Like since then they have started being like a lot nicer, and I was like, oh, that's like, it's one person on the internet, but it's a reminder.
We do have the power to shape that.
Yeah,
we definitely have that power.
Nice.
I wanna clarify something though. I don't think it's like you don't have to, right? It's not. I don't think it's like it's your job to do this, right? I do take responsibility in saying this is our job of shaping community perceptions, definitely, right? And I will never come to a YouTuber being like, "Oh, you're not okay for not doing this," right? It's up to you what you put in your content, but if you come to me and say, I want the snapshots to be more of this, I want you to share more with us, I want you to talk to us more and let us affect these decisions, then I will tell you, dude, you're making the opposite happen right now. Right? Like you're contributing to the reason why you're not going to get earlier stuff from us, basically. That's the only time where I allowed myself to say, dude, you're wrong. Like you're achieving exactly the opposite of what you want. That's what I'm saying. That is
always the worst thing to see. Like, there's all sorts of examples of it, but people, it's almost like an art to me. Like, people who tried really hard for something and achieved the opposite. Like, my favorite example. I want to make sure we stay on topic, but it's one of those like things that fascinates me. Is the person who created the AK-47, like he was just trying to make like this, like a rifle that's slightly more efficient so he could use it for something or other. And then it became the most widely produced weapon ever made. There's like 100 million of them. And so indirectly, this guy has caused like 100 million deaths, and it just makes him sad. He's like, I wasn't trying to I was trying to make the world a better place, not a worse place, And I think about all sorts of versions of that all the time. Like, it's sometimes hard to know which way you're pushing the needle on a given thing until it happens, and then even then you don't see it all the time, So if you're, I think first of all, anyone who, like, the reason, one of the worst things is every Minecraft developers who like tweet things about what they're working on and putting in the game, like that's one of the coolest ways as a community where you can see what's happening while it's in the pre-development phase. But then inevitably, like, some people will decide to attack them because they're like, oh, you're ruining Redstone, you're ruining PvP, you're whatever it is.
I will tell you flat out, there are things we don't even tweet about because we know if we say it, people are gonna, where is this thing you tweeted about a year ago? Why is it not in the game yet? Because it's a promise the second we tweet about it.
Yeah,
this is the thing, right? And you guys are losing out on it, and we are losing feedback from our community. Like it's a lose-lose situation.
And that's one of those like, yeah, it's also an interesting like I think one of the key principles of news, I think, is like trying to report on the story rather than become the story. And I do like, so like one of the things like I've always done is like show some Minecraft news. Oftentimes that will come from Twitter or something, but then like the person who's just tweeting something out becomes the news, and like me, if I tweet them or ask them about something, that becomes it. It's like, oh yeah, this is a tricky place to be in. Like how do you separate those things? And I don't have answers to any of it, I guess, but I guess no one does, or we'd all be working on it. But they're interesting questions, and it's cool to see your side of things being like the exact opposite. Like, yeah, this is the reason we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
But
I will say that I did see. I'm not like just assuming that we can make a difference. Like I've seen cases where a YouTuber did something, right, or said something, and that shaped my comment sections afterwards. My tweet comments afterwards. Yeah. Right, and the thing is that even if he changes a bunch of people, it doesn't need to change everyone. He changes a few of them, and then all the other ones they hear them saying it, right? So it spreads. And obviously, what I will do is that when I see these comments, I respond way more to comments who are not necessarily positive, but well, like, phrased, right, or nice or constructive. And that makes that voice even wider heard. So like we all do this megaphone of these good feedback, this good way of approaching this, and it does make a difference, I think.
I would like to. I hope so. Something interesting is that I see this on the whenever there's a snapshot, there's a thread on the subreddit about it, and I find whatever the top comment on that thread is like often like both a thing that people will use to like tweet at me with, but also where like certain YouTubers like take their videos in the direction of. And it's interesting like how one person's like opinion can shape so many others, because when there is something big, it's hard to have an opinion quickly, and we have this like natural tendency to like find ones that we agree with instead. And I wonder how healthy a characteristic that is. Like I've always felt the ideal is like share some stuff with people and then hope they make their own decisions, and that would be the ideal if the whole world was that way. But I guess it isn't always the way we want it to be, and I don't know how we make that better. I'd like to make it better on my own level.
It makes it even harder when it's not really an opinion. Like it's not. What am I trying to say? It's not really something you could have really articulated. Like there's no good and bad, right? Removing the skulk sensor from the update, it doesn't like. There is no right opinion here. Right? There is no what is the right thing to be done here. It's mainly how you look at it, right? There are good sides to it and bad sides to it, and you're sort of choosing what of these is more important to you, right? So I think the first opinion you hear of it is definitely going to shape it, because there's really not a more right. Like I cannot come to these people and say like, no, that YouTuber is wrong, right? It's more right to remove this. I can say why we did it, but yeah, it's mainly just a reaction, a gut reaction of, am I appreciating them for having quality and allowing us to see things before they're done for feedback, or am I pissed that something was taken away from me, right? Like there's no much of a very mature discussion to be had there, I think.
Yeah, I think it's good to always balance. Like I don't know if I always succeed, but I always try my best to like balance. In almost any discussion I have, like if almost anything, if someone believes it, there's probably a good reason as to why it's a widespread belief. But also, I think if everyone like I don't know, like the thing being removed, I want it to be, I feel like I didn't do a good job in that video being like, yeah, I mean, there is time constraints.
Full disclosure, I didn't watch that video.
Okay,
I had enough hate on the internet for that day. I don't think you were hateful. I don't know, but I did not care enough to watch that video. I needed a break.
The way so I'll just like briefly summarize what I believe I said, because I mean it was like probably a week ago. It was over a week ago now, but it was like, yeah, it's straight up. On the surface it sucks. There's no great way to spin this as like, well, it means that it's really a good fit, but is the upside that it's not a delay? Is the upside, or is this really more of a point that the update shouldn't have been split all? Like you're slowly having to erode even more, and that was the sort of thing I took. But I do think you're right that like making sure that if you're being an opinion shaper, being like, yeah, well, also it's possible that this is just an essential removal because it fits over there better or whatever. I don't know. I feel like Minecraft news has not been particularly positive recently. There's not been much great, wholesome, objectively great. There hasn't been many wins for the Minecraft team recently, and that's I think that's the sad bit by itself. Unless you disagree.
Yeah, it's it's been not great for the team. Like I would say the happiest news we got, well, or like we created, I don't know. The happiest news we had recently was the split.
Because
Because for us, it's been a really bad time. Like it's been crazy bad for a lot of people's mental health, and it's been very stressful, and it's been bad both on the people and for the quality of the product that would have been released. And I am like the first piece of positivity or optimisticity that I got recently was that, right? Since then, things have been a bit better for me, a bit less stressful for me. Still very stressful, but a bit less. And since then, I've been talking to people who've been affected even more than me with it, and they have felt a bit less terrible. So I would say that's the only positive thing that happened for a while for our team. I can see why it doesn't feel positive for a player. Like I can see that, but yeah.
yeah, I feel
It's been a tough year.
I think about that a ton, about how like it's almost like diametrically opposed. Like in most ways, developers and players have the same goals of like Minecraft be great, but and I definitely want to make sure I'm not calling people who put their life into something lazy ever. Like I don't think it's true, but there is. I feel like a direct opposition in like the less you, the more that you in any job where you're making things for people, the less you do is the worse for the people that take the thing, but also the better it is for you personally, right? Like if there was a 3-month break, just everyone's like, you know, let's just all have a hiatus, enjoy in the new world that's just opened up. That'd be great for Mojang employees, but bad for people playing Minecraft, and vice versa. If they pushed people to the edge to make sure this update did come out on time, that'd be terrible. That'd make the I've heard about the mental health crisis at certain Mojang places. That would make that so much worse. But then it would make the users at least happy for a little bit, and it's interesting that that's like diametrically opposed.
I mean, I don't think it would have made the users happy, actually. I think that decision was the best decision all around, and I can tell you very clearly that the update, if we didn't do the pivot, the update would not release like you think it would, right? It might have, on paper, have some of the things that were promised, not all of them, no way, but even the things that were promised, they would have been in a terrible state, like in a state that for many players would just be unplayable. I don't think there's any world where we could have released on time and people would have felt good about it. So I don't think we were not aligned there. Like I think, again, I can see why a player would think that it would be better for them if we did release on time, but they would be wrong. Because again, they would think it would be better if we released everything in a great state that they're used to, and everything is fun and good and everything we promised. But that's not an option, right? It's not like, yeah, we could do that, but we just don't want to. Or it's not even about just sacrificing people's health. That's just impossible, right? We would sacrifice people's health, and still you would have an unplayable game. Like you will probably have the increased world height, but you won't have any semblance of performance in any sort of decent PC, right? Not to talk about mobile, which would be way worse even. But also Java, like this is not a Bedrock Java problem. This is a huge thing that we're trying to do technically. So you probably would have a higher world, but millions of crashes on it, millions of bugs, performance unplayable, so many things about like new blocks and new biomes that won't work as you expected to. Like I want you to think not you, everyone watching here, I want you to stop and think about how big Minecraft is. And I'll take that number you have in your head, right? And multiply it by $1, right? Or 5 or whatever. Think about how much money we lost for this split.
I don't think there's a direct financial cost to the split. That's what I think the problem is that the cost is going to be borne 5 years from now or 3 years from now. Like it's all about momentum of Minecraft, right? Like the same number of people are buying every day. If anything, right, you could make the argument if updates are what make people buy Minecraft, there's now two times as many opportunities to hit that purchase button. Like I think the cost isn't about finances. I think it's all about like long-term, like player retention and the way the community kind of goes down and stuff. I wouldn't say it's about.
I get what you're saying. I want to say flat out you're wrong, but it's in the future, so I can't be 100% sure you're wrong. I'm going to be 90% sure you're wrong, but I could very easily tell you about something that is in the past, and I know 100% what happens there. The holiday update was cancelled, right? Usually we have a holiday update, and we said, no, we're not going to have a holiday update. We're going to have just the Caves and Cliffs update to have enough time to sort of work on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That has a very, very strict and clear monetary cost. Like we know exactly how much money we lost on that decision, right? I can't say it, but it's a lot.
Have you seen it? I'm interested. No,
yes.
Obviously, okay, yeah. So there's a lot of money that
I've seen estimates of it, right? I've seen like ballpark numbers of it. I don't have access to the specifics, but I saw estimates of it from people who do know. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's so a lot that I like sitting there and being part of the group that talks about maybe canceling, like not doing a holiday update because we want to give our players such a good experience. It's terrifying to be part of a group that says, yeah, we're okay with losing that amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's huge, and it's terrifying. And just think about again. So I'm giving it as an example, and it's not exactly the same situation, right? Because there is gonna be a release on June, but it is. I'm fairly certain that what we did is not gonna be great for money purposes. This like in a month, not in 5 years. And I just want the people listening to think about it and realize that anything we did here, we did not only because we really care about the people making the game, but also because we care about this game a whole lot. If you think you care about this game more than us, you are wrong. Like, I don't care who you are. Mm-hmm. I know how much I care about this game. I know how much people around me care about this game. You do not care about this game more than us. Not the quality of it, no how good it is, no, not how much you personally enjoy it. We care about all of it a lot. If you think the decision we made is the wrong decision for the game, you are wrong. If you think we could have released the game in June in a state that you would be good with, and also won't make like half the team quit their job, and which means that the next update is just going to be terrible because you lost all the good people making Minecraft, right? Like, we are not thinking about only this update, right? Maybe we could have not slept for 3 months, the entire team, and maybe make something work. I'm sure we could not make it work regardless, but something work. And then you just have people like burned out and not coming to work anymore and leaving.
I think you're totally right that people, so like, again, I'm always clear it was never an option, but I think some people have the false idea, comes up with anything, but they're like, oh yeah, so instead of doing this, they should have just released it all at the same time. And it's like, well, clearly that, like, regardless of why it's not an option, it's not an option. It's like the decision about whether to release the entire thing at one time at a later date, or whether to release a worse version. Like, there is a debate about what and why, but the debate is never on, any sane person shouldn't be like, oh yeah, instead of releasing 2 updates, they should have all done it in 1 and half the time. And it's like, well, even though it's theoretically possible in some other world, like there's too many variables you're changing to make that even a. Sorry.
Why would that make it half the time though?
Oh, no, I'm saying in some other world you could argue like, oh yeah, if they planned from the beginning and they hired double as many staff and they they had 18 women trying to make a baby in half a month instead.
Yeah. So first of all, we are hiring. I heard that complaint as well. Why aren't you hiring more? Right? We are hiring more all the time, right?
It's a huge company that's always growing. Yeah. Every time you check, the number gets bigger. It's like, oh yeah, there's 100 people. Sorry, it's closer to 200 now. Like that stuff.
Yeah. I think we like might have almost doubled vanilla in the last year or something. Like it's crazy how much we're growing. We're growing a lot. But also you don't want us to grow a lot too fast. Like you really don't. Because Minecraft is very unique in its way of development and unique as a game. And if you think that if Minecraft was developed like any other game will be the same, you're very, very mistaken, right? Like there's a reason why it feels the way it feels. And I think that a lot of it is the people who are here and the way we work. And yeah, you can choose a random quirky feature that came into Minecraft, and that feature would never work if you need to pass like a board of directors of like 30 people, and then you need to allocate time from 50 different developers and 50 different designers and 50 different art directors. Like there's a reason why Minecraft works like it is, and you really don't want us to lose that. And if we just grow too fast, we're gonna lose what Mojang is, what Minecraft is, and there's no going back from that. Mm-hmm. We are growing, right? We want to grow. We want to be able to be more ambitious and do more things. But you don't want us to grow too fast, and we don't want to grow too fast.
It's I think scaling anything is always.
Zalafan said very well said. I love it when Zalafan gives me compliments. I really look up to him, so that's nice. What did you say?
I compliment me, Xylophane. I want to see how good it feels. Thank you very much. But no, more seriously.
No, you need to earn it. You
gotta earn those compliments. That's what makes it. It's like the girlfriend cheating example. Like you can get surface compliments, but they're not gonna mean as much as when they're real and genuine.
True.
See, next time you say something nice about me, I'm gonna know it means it from the heart after you said the real but brutal truth about the developer thing, right? But that's like a bummer. That's like that's an important thing to have weigh on me, Not thinking about it isn't a very valuable option. I realize almost every time we do this, we get very sidetracked and I feel like we did that today.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the structure for a while.
It's been 3 hours too. Time flies when you're having a good conversation.
Oh, right. 3.5 for me. Wow.
It must be crazy late for you, no?
It's 11:26.
Oh,
no, it's okay. And also it's a weekend, so I'm okay.
Is Friday really a weekend? That's one of those lies I think people tell you to keep you down.
No, I mean, I don't work tomorrow. That's the only part of a weekend that matters.
Okay. I'm glad. That's we're on the same page there then.
Yeah.
It's weird because like one of the few things I miss about a normal people job is like having a clearly defined like, whoa, that whole time is nothing time.
Yeah.
Like a weekend.
I remember when I was freelance. I know what you mean. But on the other hand, you can just decide one week that tomorrow is a weekend for me.
Yeah, no, that's I mean, now I feel like workplaces are better at that nowadays. But yeah, you're right. I totally have made that decision. Like, I never on the flip side of that, like, maybe again, this is why the power of it, I guess, and this is what you're really doing inside of an existing business. But like, when I take time off, I'm like, oh, that is X number of and multiply it by 1,000. Actually, that's X number of $100 or $1,000 I've flushed down the toilet by being not there when I need to be,
You're much more aware of money when you manage it all yourself, definitely.
That is one of the like nice things about being employed, I guess, is you're not having to be aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like the fact that like when time you can work at a company that lost $1 billion last year, and like everyone's still getting paid just fine as long as the company's staying afloat, and that's like that must be a cool luxury, I guess, almost.
I feel like I don't have that in Mojang though, specifically. Not about money, but if something bad happens to Minecraft, I feel it myself very strongly.
I think that's good-ish. Like, I think it's good to share this. Like, again, I guess this is the ultimate duality of that. Is that I think it'd be good if you felt good when something like if there's a good Minecraft update that's received well and it has that big holiday thing that you're talking about where you hear about the vague numbers and you're like, whoa, we did good, huh? I think sharing in that seems healthy, but I guess you can't share in the good without sharing in the bad, huh?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think for me it's really not the money. Like if I hear we made so and so money, that's not.
But the growth and the sales and the numbers
I did
and stuff,
something.
right? I obviously, yeah, like
it's more. Yeah, it's more when I see people playing or when I lurk in some stream or something, see people really excited about what I did. It's like, oh, I made this. I'm so happy. It's more that than money. Money's like, eh.
Yeah, it's even to me, like I would expect I would be much more interested in the money because of how directly it ties into my well-being. But the thing to me is always like when something cool, like what one of the cool perks of this job is that I get to speak to you. That's cool. That's like a little highlight to my weekend that isn't a weekend.
Very weird for me.
It was the same last weekend. I hung out with so I think there's a like the things to me that matter are like, oh, there was a big, like a lot of people found the videos and some people said they liked it, or they showed they liked it in some way, like, oh, the stream is up some number of things and those people like it this much and they're showing via this way. Like I as much as I guess like it's not ideal to be emotional creatures, I think almost even when you're like directly tied it, seeing it directly for what it is harder than just being like, oh, it's cool, this thing happened in this way. I don't know what I'm saying correctly, but I'm just trying to describe it. Like, it's interesting that I would expect that the money would be the thing that motivates and fascinates me more than anything else, but it's the intangible side of it for me too. But I don't know. You said you did freelancing before you were on YouTube. What did you do?
Before I was on YouTube?
Sorry, I was in very Mojo. Sorry, embarrassing.
Yeah, streaming is my.
You are streaming now, though, actually. I'm gonna back up and I'm gonna say actually that's what I meant. This whole Mojang thing is just a springboard for your YouTube career.
Yeah, of course.
And that's that's why.
I mean, when I don't stream with you, I have like 20 people. I won't be leaving my day job yet, I think.
But it's all about that growth.
I love streaming as well.
All about those numbers, seeing them go up.
I mean, that's the only reason I'm talking to you, right? For those views.
Love a good social climb.
So what I did. So yeah, I was in freelancing, and it's sort of. So I was in like high tech for a very long time. I started with doing just programming, and then I worked in cyber a bit. Like I had a really cool job actually. I worked. My job interview was I sat with someone, and she was like, "So let's pretend that I am a bank. Now describe how you're trying to hack my systems." And like that was the interview. I was trying to describe like ways to hack the site, and she was like, "Yeah, but you run into this wall. What do you do?" And then I said, "Oh, so I do use this tool instead," and stuff like that. It was very fun. My job was basically to try to find ways to hack into banks and then patch those ways. Sort of, not really, but sort of. But then I worked for this company, which was very, very bad. That burnt me up completely. I always to say, I really think people outside of Israel don't really get what burn up is. Like, well, there's a lot of really bad places, but most people are like, oh, they made me work long hours. I worked there for a year. In the span of a year, there were 3 separate occasions where, on a holiday, I slept at the office for more than 3 days.
Jeez. What?
That's to emphasize how much of a extreme case it was.
Yeah, that's a lot worse than you usually would have. Yeah.
Yes. So that was extreme for me. That burned me up completely, and I decided I'm never gonna be an employee ever again. And I just left, and I went to my a couple friends of mine, and I was like, okay, you know this thing that's why we went into programming in the first place. We want to make games. Why the hell aren't we doing that? Let's make games. And we basically started a company together. We opened a dev studio, and we worked on some games, and we actually published one game as well. It was really, really cool. And we worked on it for a while, and then we sort of ran out of money. We were very idealistic, and we're like, no, if you don't want to see a commercial, you should never see a commercial. We will never put something in your face. And we just built a game. We had, I think, around 200,000 downloads at some point, which for your first game with 0 advertisement is crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
And we had like 10,000 concurrent users at some point, which again is insane for your first game. But we just made no money because all of these people had never saw commercials, right? We put a commercial you can choose to see, but most people didn't.
It's an
we were
interesting
really bad
idea
at putting in monetary stuff.
Yeah, that's a really interesting idea to fund a game by being like, you know what, choose to watch a commercial to support it. Just sadly isn't. That's interesting. Yeah.
It wasn't 100% like that. It's like you watch a commercial to get these shards, and then you can do stuff with them, right? Sort of.
Oh, okay.
thing.
There was actually it was just a choice rather than a.
Yes, but you could also get these shards in a different way, and honestly, we always felt bad that the shards are too useful, so we made them less useful, so you don't feel like you have to. And at some point, you just don't, right? I don't need to. Why would I do this? We were very nice. We were trying to be very nice because we hate commercials. We hate that. We were too nice, and we ran out of money. So we decided to go freelance and basically start working with a bunch of things. And it was sad for me because I loved working full-time on a game and full-time with my best friends and stuff like that. But it actually was the best thing that ever happened to me. This is a privilege alert. I'm going to tell something that probably most people are not going to, I don't know. But I've been super lucky to have this. I had, so I left this terrible job, and then I got this job that is like, I own a dev studio full time, and I go to conventions and tell people about my game and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my God, I have the best job in the world. Nothing can be better than this. And then I went freelance. And as a freelance, I was able to do multiple jobs at the same time, which is something I always wanted to do. I have never... Oh my God. I just got a raid that is very, very big. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry. Toycat, give me a second, okay?
Hello, Raid. How are you doing? Are you having a good one?
Hey, Raiders. We're that's IBX Toycat. We're playing. We're not really playing together. We pretend to play together just so we get an excuse to talk about life and the universe and stuff.
We should just do one where we don't even have the pretense. That'd be a...
Yeah, right. At this point, we're not even doing anything. That's why I wanted to get you on the realm here, so we at least see each other when we're talking. But yeah.
Do you wanna join what I've been doing this whole time?
What did you do this whole time?
I made a beautiful face. You should.
Yeah, I turned all this village I'm in into an end village.
Oh, I like that.
I changed everything to like purple blocks.
Oh, I like
But
that.
yeah, I want to say thank you to Il Mango. Thank you so much for the raid, dude. That's super nice. I hope you had a nice stream. And everyone, welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, so we started this stream with we were trying to find differences between structures in Java and Bedrock, and we did that. We were good, right? We did it for like 2 hours,
we
maybe.
got 2 hours in. That's like more than we've ever done if staying on point.
Yeah, that's impressive for us. But then we started talking about Minecraft and the split and the community and pretty much everything in the
And
world.
then hours later, here we are.
You say that, I say hours later, and I look at this poor village that I slowly turned into a purple blob. But yeah.
Half the beauty.
Yeah, usually I'm more responsive to chat, but here I'm chatting with Toy Cat, so I'm a bit less responsive. But
I'm the
again, thanks
chat
everyone
now.
for coming. Hope you'll enjoy. So I was saying, I worked on, like, I opened my own game dev studio working with my best friend, right? And I was like, this is the best thing ever. Nothing can beat this. I have the best job in the world. And then we ran out of money, which sounds like really bad, and I was really bummed about it, but it made it so I went freelance, which I always wanted to be. I always wanted to be self-employed. And it enables me to work on a few different jobs at the same time, which I always wanted to do, because I always get bored when I do just one thing after a while, and this enabled me to do more than one job. So I actually, first thing I did is that I started working with this awesome non-profit organization called Games for Peace, which basically uses Minecraft to bring children from areas of conflict together. So they play together. They don't even share a language, right? They don't know each other's languages, but they just play Minecraft together. And it's really, really awesome. And I was their like game director thing. I created their Minecraft maps, and I played with the kids and sort of guided their experience in it and designed the games and stuff like that, which was really, really cool. But at the same time, I also acted in some plays, which was the first time I got paid to do acting, which was amazing and always been a dream of mine. And at the same time, I opened another company, which did I did a lot of things.
Yeah, right. That's so much at the same time.
Yeah, that's what I love, though. I love being super busy with multiple things. That's why I don't get like bored. It's long. It was a company that did sort of murder mysteries, right? You'll invite us home and bring some friends, and we did like a night with a dinner and a show and some games and stuff like that. Yeah, it was fun. It was a murder mystery, basically. So I did all those things together, and I was like, oh my god, my job is the best job in the world, but I get to be an actor and an entertainer and develop Minecraft maps, and like, oh my god. And then you know what comes next.
I do know what comes next.
I somehow got accepted to work at Mojang.
I mean, I've been doing all of that stuff like at the same time as like a sign that you can do a lot. It doesn't surprise me to hear all of that ends with Mojang to me. Like you're clearly very. People use the word hardworking, but like it almost sounds like it's not even intentionally hard, right? It's just you deliberately pick up a bunch of work. You're a driven person, maybe, and that's like what people are going after usually. Like not right, like people don't.
Yes, exactly. Like as a kid, when people ask me what I want to do, I always had like multiple answers. Like it was never one thing.
Do you know when I was a kid, the only job answer I'd ever give when someone asked was like, I want to develop games, probably. I was like, you know what? I like games. Like it's the only real job you can get with games is like making them. And I was like, I'll make a game. And I always had like a trillion ideas as to how to make them. Because I was like, yeah, ideas for not how to make them, but like what to do with them. Like, oh, there'll be a racing game where it's this, that, the other. And I always had like a giant list of stuff like that. And then the YouTube thing kind of just like fell into place. Like I liked sharing the games when I was thing, and then I went down a tangent. My point was there like it's cool that like whole chain of events happened, but I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's like you
Yeah, I don't know.
you
I'm
were a
wary of
particularly
saying,
ideal candidate, you know, because of the
yeah,
fact that you worked so hard.
I want to think that, right? But I'm wary of that. I'm sure there's a lot of luck involved, and
I think it should be
I mean, I
more.
know there's a lot of luck involved because I was so close to not even sending my resume. Like I when I saw the message on, I think it was on Agnes's Twitter, I saw it and I turned to my girlfriend. I was like, "Look at that! It's pretty cool, huh?" And I wasn't really gonna send it because there is no way in the world that I will be accepted to Mojang. Like I honestly was not gonna send anything. And my girlfriend pushed me and said, "What are you doing? You are sending your CV in." And she's the only reason I did that. And even afterwards, they sent me a sort of this test that I need to. What was it even? I need to send in something, like an example of something I programmed or something like that. And I left it to the last second, and like one day my partner came to me and was like, "Isn't the deadline today?" I was like, "Oh shit, you're right." and I sent it in, but I almost didn't. Like there's so many cases where this could have very easily not happened. So I have to give a lot of it to luck.
I think one of the struggles we have is working out how much of what we and others do is luck and how much is. And I think it should be just a given that for any given scenario, you know, there's a huge amount of luck involved for anything good that's ever happened to anyone almost. But I also think that doesn't discount what you've done. You know, like to be in the situation where you could capitalize on that luck is hard. To be in a place where you can actually. I agree. And so I think that you should still feel warm and fuzzy that you were someone Mojang wanted, and that it wasn't a luck thing that, like, I mean it was, but like it wasn't like they made a mistake and that you should be like, they wanted me, it was just luck that they found me, you know. It's like you know, I'm going to assume that you like your girlfriend for a second. I hope that this is true. You know, like
assuming that.
I hate her. I don't know why she's still around. I've tried to get rid of her, but she keeps coming back. But no, I'm going to assume that you're happy that you're with her. But like, what are the odds that you would find her, you know, as opposed to any of the other human beings on this planet? And it's like, what's some?
Yes.
Yeah, but like, there's luck involved in everything, but also it's like I don't know. I guess like it's a hard thing to. I think about it a lot too. Like, how do you know when the luck ends and when the you begins? And there's no clear answer. But that I think just discounting other people's stuff based on luck is also unhealthy. In the same way, doing it to yourself.
So, what I tend to do is say, when it's someone else, it's pure skill. Like I'm like, oh, you're so amazing. It's so good that you earned every bit of that. And when it's me, it's all luck, but I also deserve it, right? And then I think what this does is that oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Villager, I just punched him. What this does is that it wraps up this conundrum fairly well by saying it keeps me humble to remember that this is a lot of luck involved. It let me get people feel good because I don't assume your luck, right? Like if you want to believe you did everything without luck, I'm okay with you. I'm with you. And at the same time, I need to feel good about myself that I'm actually succeeding to do this thing that I'm working hard for, right? I'm working hard to be a designer. It didn't just happen for me. I left my job. I took out my savings to open this game dev studio. I worked really hard to try to find and make a good game. I don't know. I watch and read a lot of things to try to make myself a better designer. I work hard for this, and for my sanity, I need to remember that I do deserve this, because otherwise it's bad. Not that I believe it, but I tell that to myself. You can't believe that you deserve being one of 5 people who work on the biggest game in the world. Like you can't believe that. That's not. Salafan says same here. Yeah, you try to keep telling yourself that you deserve this, but it's really hard to believe that.
It's good that worked. That sounds like a. I like the idea of like, yeah, don't believe luck in anyone else, but remember believe both luck and deserving is important. Otherwise, you'll freak out and be like, oh, yeah.
I think one of our biggest superpowers as humans is, like, I think no other animal really does that. I'm not in their head, but I think so. Is that we have the power for cognitive dissonance. I don't don't see that as a bad thing at all. It's the ability to take completely conflicting ideas and hold them and believe them in the same time in your head. And usually people use that for, I was gonna say bad things. I'm not gonna say anything bad. Stuff like religion. Not gonna say if it's good or not.
Wonderful things.
I choose to. What?
Wonderful things is what they use it for. Only wonderful things.
Wonderful things. Yeah. People choose to use it for some things. I choose to use it for things that, even if they don't make sense together, it's positive that I believe them. So I choose to believe them, sort of.
I think we should like save the like what is the purpose of religion subject as like one of the deep in the depths parts of our next if we do like just the podcast style version.
No, but like that, we're not gonna do it next because we don't have an excuse, right?
No,
problem.
The excuse is that we didn't finish this time. You see.
Oh, right.
You can't leave it unfinished. That'd be ludicrous. You gotta.
Obviously, it's so important to us.
We literally have to. Yeah, like there's no choice. I'm sorry. I wish there was, but I just can't let you off that way. I guess we're gonna have to do another one of these. I actually am. I think I'm. I have to meet someone in real life not too long from now, so I might. As abrupt as this is, I might have to end and then release the video. But thank you for the evening of enjoyment. I like that hard truth moment. That was like, it hurts a bit, but it's some emotional growth that comes out of it. Working out, how to better do some stuff. It's a good. And I hope if you do speak to that person, you tell them that I definitely. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm sure nothing I can say here helps too much, but like that definitely was not my intention, and that it's not the I don't know how to word it correctly, but I hope they know that it's not their like it's I'm not saying words anymore, but yeah, I look forward to doing one of these in the future.
Yeah, me too. It was a lot of fun as usual.
So I'll see you in. We can do the schedule. In a week? Question mark.
Oh, what you're gonna put? I need to open a calendar on the spot here. Wait.
I can't believe you have a calendar.
Let's talk about it in Discord.
What a lame nerd. You hear this? ulrAF has a calendar. Do you also have a? Do you also have a notebook? Yeah, like do you have an eraser just in case you make mistakes? I do everything in permanent marker. If I need to undo it, then I won't undo it. No, I mean
you canceled our last date that you suggested because you could not be on it. So I doubt you have a permanent marker.
I did cancel our last day. It was very terrible of me. I did, in my defense, I scheduled... No, this is my defense. To attack myself even more, I scheduled it for a time I'd be on a plane, and only realized like a day before, like, oh, these two things I scheduled for Friday, they're like actually incompatible. That doesn't make sense.
You can't come to the stream from the plane? That's not a possibility.
It did have internet, actually. Okay, I'm too many times. The plane had free Wi-Fi, but only if you had Amazon Prime, and it was like good Wi-Fi, and it like blew my mind. Like that's not how planes work. It's weird. America's got some interesting things going on. But anyway, I'll see you around, and we'll schedule it when you look at your calendar with your eraser and your pencil case.
Erasers are for nerds. Whatever.
Oh wait, real quick. I'll be releasing a video after this. I don't know what the video is right now, but it's a good one. So yeah, have a good one, internet. Also, I'm sorry for ignoring your chat. Thank you for all the lovely words and tips anyway. I'm gonna go play some ball.